Greetings, comrades. Welcome to All Power to the People podcast on Grown Folks Talking, Express Yourself Internet Radio via the Huddle Team app. We meet every Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. We discuss local, national, and global events that impact the material conditions of the people and provide viable solutions. We are here to find those tired of the way their lives are socially constructed. As Panthers, we use dialectic materialism. As Dr. Huey P. Newton stated, power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner. From combating the housing crisis to police patrols, we are the vanguard in place to serve our communities. The purpose of this program is to highlight contradictions in the electoral process, which Western culture calls politics. Politics is the struggle for resources. Participating in America's electoral process has only taken resources from the people and handed it to the oligarchs and the professional managerial class that serve them by maintaining the status quo through coercion. We know that power lies with the people, and it is our duty to organize and educate the community so that they can fight for their own liberation. So please, join us every Sunday at 12 p.m. You can join by downloading the Huddle Team app, join online, or call in. The app and joining online is free, but if you call in, standard messaging rates may apply. Links to the show will be provided in the caption. This is General Secretary Patience of the new African Black Panther Party, NABPP North. All power to the people.
I'll be having conversation with people, and they'll be like, so what do we do? What is our option? How do we change our material condition? How do we change the reality around us? I mean, you can't do that. This is from our food program. I mean, so that's why I'm starting off like this to show everybody like the things that you could do in the community. As Panthers, we come together in North to get this food to go out and give to the families that are starving. We all know, if we live in these communities, we know how hard times are. We're all going through it. We eat the same food too. We take the food in our home and we put them in our bellies. This is our during the school year, all year round. We don't have enough money to go build a school to be able to bring in all these children and stuff. We don't have all of that. But we can create an after-school program. And this is one of the ways we bring the kids in with the after-school program so they could come in for us to give them that knowledge, to teach them, and try to help guide them through this reality, through this world. You say they teach you about 9/11 in school?
Yeah.
What did they teach you about 9/11? Why did the plane hit the buildings? You got to say it loud enough so I can hear you.
The Muslim airjacked the plane and then they
That's what they taught you, that the Muslims hijacked the plane? That's okay. That's okay. Relax. But why did they crash into the Twin Towers? They didn't. Anybody? Hey, what you were saying, Major? Hold up. Let Major speak. What'd you say, Major?
Other plane and it was more hijackers on the other plane and they crashed into that.
But why did they crash into the Twin Towers? So they crashed into the Twin Towers to go to New York. They died to go to New York.
They wanted to go. Hijackers wanted to go.
But
they crashed into the Twin Towers.
Oh, they wanted to go land in New York, but they crashed in the Twin Towers. So anybody else got something to add? Archie, you got something to add? What you want to add?
Airjacked and then they crashed into different places.
That's it?
Yeah.
So nobody can tell me why the planes crashed? Why the planes did that? Nobody can tell me? But don't you think the school should tell you why?
Yeah.
So, like, if the school not telling you why, what does that mean?
They keep it secret.
Wow.
Gatekeeping.
Whoa, where you get gatekeeping from, bro?
I said gates.
But where you learn that at? You say me? you burnt out, yo. You burnt out. Nah, but the reason why they crashed into the into the Twin Towers is because the American government, America was going to their country, taking their natural resources, stealing their stuff, killing their people. So they got mad. They stole a plane and they came and crashed it on the World Trade Center to get back at America. That's why they did it.
So it wasn't two planes?
No, it wasn't one plane. I think it was 2 or 3. Was it? I think it was one. No, I think there was one in D.C. and there was one in Philly or something like that. That they. Yeah, huh?
And I basically got it right there.
There was the Twin Towers, and then another one tried to crash into the place that Trump lives in.
The Trump Tower?
I see that too.
There ain't no plane trying to go to the Trump Tower. The White House? Did the plane try to go to the White House?
Pentagon. I think that's
The one went to the Pentagon. But these people be lying. The media be lying. The politicians be lying. So you never know what's true. But why they really did it, they said because America was going over to their countries and they were killing their people. They were taking their resources and they were putting military bases in their country. So that's why they did it. I mean, that's why they went over there and did it. So they call it blowback. Like when you go to another country and you do stuff to them, and then they come back over here and do something, like they call that blowback.
it's like get back.
Yeah, it's like get back.
So imagine another country.
You said they should have did more. Then we gonna die. If they nuke us, we gonna die. I don't want to die.
What if we wasn't alive at that time?
But we gonna continue this later, y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all. We gonna continue later.
This is our summer basketball camp. It's going on right now. Every day from 9 to 1. We have this basketball camp that that the kids come out. Yo, it's all about organizing and finding ways to bring people out, bring the children out to be able to organize them. I mean, when you're doing these things to bring the children in, to bring the community in, yo, you got to be serious. You can't be playing around with this. Yo, like when the kids come here, at the end of the summer, they're stronger, they're faster, they're quicker, and they know more about the game, about the sport than they did before. Yo, we watch their minds develop every day. While we're talking about Pantherism, what do we do? What are the solutions? Yo, there's solutions here. I mean, the solutions is organizing our own community, creating an economic base that we can be able to feed ourselves, take care of ourselves without having to bow down to somebody else, without having to beg somebody else for our humanity. Yo, I refuse to go beg anybody to give me humanity. I will take my humanity by force. I understand I am not free. We understand we are not free as Panthers. There's no doubt in our mind if we are free or not. And you cannot hold anybody that's under oppression, that's under neocolonialism, responsible for how their life turned out, because they control no institution. I mean, I often hear people say, like, the drug dealers, the worst thing in our community, the drug dealers, because they're stupid. They're ignorant. They haven't educated themselves to understand the world around them. So they just open their mouth and regurgitate whatever they heard somebody else say. You're a fool. If you believe anything out here is your fault or our fault. Seriously. And I'm telling you, I work with the community all day and all night. And I know how ignorant the community can be. But I don't blame the people for the conditions they find themselves in. They have nothing to do with how anything is done materially in this world. They're just bystanders. The people that I hold accountable is those that know, the intellectuals. That's supposed to know better, but continue to usher our people into institutions of white supremacy, of imperialism, that will continue to exploit us. Tell our people to go vote. What are you voting for? I mean, who are you voting for? Who do they serve? They don't serve the people. They won't serve the people, or they won't survive in those institutions.
Get your phone, man. Myself, not nobody. Yeah, he's gonna be here working. Hey.
I'm doing good, brother. Appreciate you, man. I know we had a good conversation yesterday, so.
All power to the people. Just wanted to say what's up, man. All right, we about to start. So look, every Sunday we come here, we try to read something from the past and try to see if we can get some information from it to try to help us deal with the situations we have in our communities right now, current time. If you're not paying attention because the media's not really putting it out there, it's not everywhere. Remember how COVID used to be? Everybody was telling you COVID, we turn everything on COVID. We're in a world war right now. There's a war going on right now. Nobody's talking about it. The media's acting like nothing is going on. Everybody's walking outside like nothing is going on. We're going to talk about some of that today. And then we're going to listen to, what chapter is it? Chapter 13, section 40, part 1 of the Philadelphia Negro. You're going to hear Du Bois talk about, I got to bring this back because people are new. This may be your first time here. So let me bring it back a little bit. We're reading the Philadelphia Negro. This was a project that was done by W.E.B. Du Bois in 1896, and basically it was explaining the conditions of black folks in Philadelphia at that time. And when you're reading it, when you're going through it, you still see that the conditions are similar to today. Nothing has really changed. So we try to pull and extract lessons or advice that the author may have gave us, because he was a sociologist, for us to understand how to deal with this society. So I'm about to put it on so we don't waste too much time with this. I'm going to stop it maybe 3 times to chime in, to talk about the things he's talking about. But I'm going to try to go through this real quick because we got a lot of stuff to cover today. Man, this show is packed today, man. So sit back, relax. If you're doing whatever you're doing, you got your headphones on, just relax and listen. And if you feel like chiming in, if you feel like talking, you want to say something, hey, you're always free to come in. Like homie Jay already said, we already put him to work already. He said if you want to talk and you on the phone and you just listen from the phone, you got to press *6. So press *6 to come in. We don't try to shut nobody up. This is a conversation. We all want to talk here. So let me start the video right now, or the audio.
The Philadelphia Negro, Chapter 13, Section 40, Some Cases of Crime. It is difficult while studying crime in the abstract to realize just what the actual crime committed are, and under what circumstances they take place. A few typical cases of the crimes of Negroes may serve to give a more vivid idea than the abstract statistics give. Most of these cases are quoted from the daily newspapers. First, let us take a couple of cases of larceny. Edward Ashbridge, a colored boy, pleaded guilty to the larceny of the quarts of milk, the property of George Abbott. The boy's mother said he was incorrigible, and he was committed to the house of refuge. William Drumgoole, colored, aged 31 years, of Lawrenceville, Virginia, was shot in the back and probably fatally wounded late yesterday afternoon.
If you're watching the video, and this is one of my 3 times of stopping it, if you're watching the video and you see William Drumgoole up here, and you see Detective William H. McCall, hey, look, I need you to understand the General Secretary went through the history data and got these pictures for you to see the people that Du Bois is talking about in 1896. This is the shoes right here. They ain't had Jordans back then. This the shoes, whatever the stuff they said he stole. That he but be like representation because I don't find actual people. Well, you know what? Let me fix that in time. Let me fix that right. You see, I thought this were the people. She said this is a representation of them. So, look, we're gonna have to edit that out when we do the edit. All power to the people. These are a representation of them. So this how Drumgoole probably would have looked, and this how the pig probably would have looked. So let me continue.
By William H. McCalley, a detective employed in the store of John Wanamaker, 13th and Chestnut Street. Drumgoole, it is alleged, stole a pair of shoes from the store and was followed by McCalley to the corner of 13th and Chestnut Street, where he placed him under arrest. Drumgoole broke away from the detective's grasp and running down 13th Street, turned into Jewelry Street, a small thoroughfare above Sandstone Street. McCalley started in pursuit, calling upon him to stop, but the fugitive darted into an alleyway, and when the pursuer came upon him within a few yards of him, he threatened to do him up if he followed him any further. McCalley drew his revolver from his pocket, and as Drumgoole again broke into a run, he pointed the weapon at his leg and fired. Drumgoole fell to the ground, and when McCalley came up to him, he was unable to rise. McCallie saw at a glance that instead of wounding him in the leg as he had intended, the bullet had lodged in the man's back. He hurriedly sought assistance and had the wounded man taken to the Jefferson Hospital. McCallie then surrendered himself to reserve policeman Powell and was taken to the central station. Fighting and quarreling among neighbors and associates is common in the slum district. Etta Jones, colored, aged 21 years age, residing on Hurst Street above 5th, was stabbed near her home last night. It is alleged by Lottie Lee, also colored, of 2nd and Ray Street. The other woman was taken to Pennsylvania Hospital, where her injuries were found to consist of several cuts on the left shoulder and side, none of which are dangerous. Her assailant was arrested later by police in Dean and locked up in the 3rd and Union Street Station House. The assault is said by police to have been the outcome of an old grudge. Joseph Cole, colored, aged 24 years, residing in Gillis Alley, was dangerously stabbed shortly before midnight on Saturday, as is alleged by Abraham Wheeler at the latter's house on Hurst Street. Cole was taken to the Pennsylvania Hospital, where it was found the knife had penetrated to within a short distance of the right lung. Wheeler fled from the house after the cutting and eluded arrest until yesterday afternoon, when he was captured by policeman Mitchell near 5th and Lombard Street. When brought to the station house, Wheeler denied having touched Cole, but acknowledged having struck him because he was insulting his wife. He was locked up, however, to await the results of Cole's injuries. Sometimes servants are caught pilfering. Theodore Grant, colored, residing on Burton Street, attempted to flash a woman's silk dress for $15 at McFillin, 7 in Market Street several days ago. The pawnbroker refused, under his rule, to take women's raiment from the man and told Grant to bring the owner. Grant went away and returned with Ella Jones, a young colored woman who consented to take $7 for the dress. Since that time, C.F. Robertson, residing at 60th and Spruce Street, made complaint to the police of the loss of the dress. And as a result of an investigation made by Special Policemen Gallagher and Ewing, Grant and Ella Jones were arrested yesterday, charged with the larceny of the silk dress, which was recovered. Grant admitted to the Special Policemen that Ella had given him the dress to pawn, but asserted that he had nothing to do with the matter except to offer to flash the article. At a hearing before Magistrate German at the City Hall yesterday.
All right, so I'm gonna stop it. This is the first time I'm gonna stop it right here. We're talking about crime, and Du Bois started off the chapter by saying he couldn't find a concise, abstract place or whatever to get the data. He couldn't find a place to get the data. So where did he get the data from? The place he got the data from was from the media, from the news. We're in 2026. How does the media behave? Can you get accurate facts from the media? Do people trust the media? Do they trust the papers? Do they trust any of these institutions? We're talking about in 1896, and the information that Du Bois is getting to use in this in his paper, I mean in his book, or the what the school had paid him to come and do, the study that the school had paid him to come in and do, because that's what they did. The school paid him to come down to come do a study on the black condition. His information about crime is coming from who? It's coming from, by and large, the same class of people that paid him. Because remember, we are in a class struggle. Our reality is a class one. Yes, there's racism. Yes, there's patriarchy. Yes, there's all these other isms. But our main focus is class. Because you have black people that look just like me, that are the one managing our suffering in all our communities. So they may look like us, but they're not in the same class as us. They have businesses around the world. They are getting paid well to maintain our suffering. So our issue is a class one. I hope everybody understand that that's it. By and large, I think you guys do. But listen to what he's calling crime. Stealing. What is that? What kind of crime is that? Those are crimes that poor people commit. And what happened when the police, remember the police wrote that report. The police said he chased them down the alleyway and he tried to shoot him in his leg, but he missed his leg. He didn't know his leg from his back. And by the time he ran up to them, dude was laying in his own blood. Talking about he shot him in the back by mistake. That sound familiar to you? Police shooting you in the back while you running? Yo, the whole story, everything else that he made up of what happened, it's a lie. The only thing that you can take from that police report is that black man is dead. That's the only thing you can take from it. Just like today. I want to wait to show this video. But I'm going to wait to show the video. But just like today, the police lie. 99.9999999999999 and 30 more nines of what the police say. It's a lie. And it's always proven to be a lie. Once we look at the video, once we talk to the people there, the police are always lying. Because the police are not here to serve the people. They're not here to serve us in our communities. They're here to keep us prisoners in those communities and use us. I'm going to say it again. And use us to fund the government by ticketing us, by exploiting us, sending us to prison. This is how they all make their living. The police are not our friends. They're not here to serve us. And we all must accept this in 2026. But you listening. You listen to Du Bois give you the account from the reporters. The reporters that got their account from the police. Because the reporters don't go out and do no investigative work. They don't go find out what really happened. They just listen to the police and write down whatever the police say. What else they say here? I'm going to continue. Let me continue. That's the first. I got two more stops.
Mr. Robertson stated that the girl had made a statement to him saying that Grant had induced her to take the dress. He said the girl had been perfectly trustworthy up to the time of her acquaintance with Grant and had been left in full charge of the house and that nothing was ever missed. He said he also expected to show that Grant had been concerned in 2 or 3 robberies. Ella Jones, a neatly dressed girl who said she came from Maryland, stated to the magistrate that Grant had been coming to see her for about a year past. She said he had been importuning her to take something and let him hold it, so that he could raise some money until she finally consented. After she started to go to her mistress' room to get the dress, her heart failed and she turned back. But he persuaded her, telling her that Mrs. Robertson would not miss it, and then she took the dress. Mr. Robertson informed the magistrate, and Ella assented to the statement, that Grant had taken every cent of her earnings from her for weeks past and had also pawned all her clothing, so that at the present time she was penniless and had not a single garment except for what she wore. The magistrate said it was undoubtedly a hard case, but he would have told Grant and Ella on the charge of larceny, and Grant under additional bail for a further hearing next Thursday on the charges referred to by Mr. Roberts. The police say that Grant, who is a smooth-faced, cross-eyed mulatto, is a crack fiend, and that whatever money he has managed to obtain by threats and cajolery from his victim Ella Jones has gone into the pockets of the small fry gamblers. There is growing evidence of the appearance of a set of thieves of intelligence and cunning. Sneak thieves, confidence men, pickpockets, and sharpers. Some typical cases follow. Marion Shields and Alice Hoffman, both colored and residing on Fitzwater Street, above 12, had a further hearing yesterday before Magistrate South at the City Hall and were held for trial on the charge of pilfering, wearing apparel, money, vases, umbrellas, surgical instruments, and other portable property from physicians' offices and houses where they had made visits under the pretense of desiring to hold consultations with the doctors. The magistrate said there were 10 cases against Marion Shields individually on which she would be placed under $2,500 bail, and 6 cases against both women on which the bail would be $1,500. For her frankness, Marion Shields was given a lighter sentence, 1 year in Eastern Penitentiary, and Alice Hoffman was sentenced to 18 months in the same institution. 2 daring thieves yesterday entered the jewelry store of Albert Bouchard, 468 Had North 8th Street, and secured a number of articles of jewelry from under the very eyes of the proprietor. They had left the store and proceeded leisurely down the street before the jeweler discovered his loss, with the result that before an alarm could be given, the thieves had traveled a considerable distance. One of the men was captured after a long chase, but the other's whereabouts is unknown. About 1:30, 2 colored men entered the store and upon their request were shown trays of various articles. One of the men engaged the proprietor in conversation while the other continued to inspect the jewelry. They say they did not intend buying them and would call again and opening the door walk hurriedly down the street. The Bouchard said the men got away with a gold-filled watch case, a silver watch, 3 gold lockets, each set with a small diamond, 2 dozen ladies' gold rings, not jewels, a gold scarf pin, and a man's gold watch. A crime for which Negroes of certain class have become notorious is that of snatching pocketbooks on the street. While passing down 11th Street, near Mount Vernon, shortly after 9 o'clock, Mrs. K. Mitchell of 1947 Warnock Street was approached from behind by a Negro who snatched a pocketbook containing $2 from her hand and ran down a small thoroughfare toward 10th Street. Very few pedestrians were upon the street at the time, but 2 men who were attracted by the woman's scream started in pursuit of the thief. The latter had too much of a effort and escaped. William Williams, a teller of Dayton, O, was locked up in the Central Station yesterday by reserve policeman A. Joe on the charge of snatching a pocketbook from the hands of Mrs. Mary Pettit of 141 Midland Street. The theft occurred at 8th and Market Street. After securing the pocketbook, Williams ran until he reached the old office of the city solicitor at 6th and Locust Street. He was followed by Reserve Jones, who captured him in the cellar of the building. Williams was taken to 8th and Sanson Street to await the arrival of a patrol wagon, and while getting into the vehicle, the pocketbook dropped from out of his trousers. Detectives Bond and O'Leary and Special Policeman Duffy of the 8th and Lombard Street Station arrested last night Sylvester Archer of 5th Street, below Lombard, William Whittington, alias Tiggy of Florida Street, and William Carter of South 15th Street, all colored and about 21 years of age, on the charge of assault upon and robbery of Mrs. Hamilton Fitzgerald, wife of the editor of the Evening Item. The assault occurred on Monday at noon. As Mrs. Fitzgerald was passing 13th and Spruce Street, a purse which she carried in her hand, and which contained $20, was snatched from her by one of the 3 colored men. They took advantage of the crowd to strike her after the robbery had been perpetrated and escaped before her outcry was heard. When the men were brought to the Central Station last night and questioned by Captain of Detective Miller, Whittington, it is said, confessed complicity in the crime. He told the captain that they had been following a van up 13th Street, and as they reached the Spruce Street, Carter said, "There's a pocketbook. I'm going to get it." "All right, get it," came the response. Carter ran up to Mrs. Fitzgerald and in a moment shouted, "I've got it." Then he and Archer ran up 13th Street. Each man has a criminal record, and a picture of each is in Rogues Gallery. Carter has just completed a 6-month sentence for purse snatching, while Williams and Archer have each served time for larceny. So frequent have these crimes that sometimes Negroes are wrongfully suspected. Whoever snatches the pocketbook on a dark night is supposed to be black. A favorite method of stealing is to waylay and rob the frequenters of faulty houses. Very little of this sort of crime naturally is reported. Here are some cases of such badger thieves, as they are called. William Lee, colored, and Kate Hughes, a white woman, were convicted of robbing Vincenzo Monticello of $10. Lee was sentenced to 3 years and 3 months in Eastern Penitentiary and his accomplice to 3 years in the county prison. Mary Roche, jointly indicted with them, was acquitted. Monticello testified that while walking along Christian Street between 8th and 9th Street on Thursday night of last week, he was accosted by Mary Rose and accompanied her to her home on Essex Street. Here he met Lee and Kate Hughes, and they all drank considerable beer. Later in the night, we started with Kate Hughes, at her suggestion, to a house further up the street. While on their way, the prosecutor said he was struck in the face with a brick by Lee, after which the money was stolen from him. Mary Roche took to the stand against the other two defendants, and the case against her was abandoned. Ella Jones, colored, claiming to be from Baltimore, was arrested yesterday by policeman Dean on the charge of larceny of a $10 bill from Joseph Ghosh, a Pole who came from Pittsburgh on Sunday and claims that while he was looking for lodging, he was taken to the woman's house and robbed.
Yo, I think this is the fastest we ever got through any one of this audio. Because I try not to speak through it. I'm going to let it rock out. But listen to the crimes. This is W.E.B. Du Bois reporting on crime back then. He's reporting on crime. Like just like now when the politicians come to talk to us, when they go in the media and they talk about people outside selling drugs. That's the crime. The landlords, the corporation not paying people, the police shooting people in the back. None of that is crime. None of that is counted as crime. None of those people go to jail. There's no landlord that's going to jail for not providing heat, for having rodents in your house. These people don't go to jail for doubling the rent illegally, for all the illegal things that they're doing in the community. None of these people go to jail. The only people that go to jail is chain snatchers, people that's stealing to try to survive, crimes of poverty. This is what our system, our society, this government, this is what they see as crime. And it's the same thing Du Bois was doing back then. He was reporting crime. Du Bois didn't say nothing about the convict leasing system that was around from the Civil War all the way out to till today. Du Bois didn't talk about the crimes. Like Du Bois is right here. When I went to school, like he was one of the people that I focused on because he was a sociologist. I focused in on what he was talking about. Everybody always told me when I was growing up, Du Bois, Du Bois, Du Bois, Du Bois. But I'm reading this, he just like any Uncle Tom today, any middle management black person today. They're not looking at the crimes of the state, those in power. They only pick on the people at the bottom. Like when I was listening to this, they said the black people, the criminals became more intelligent and their crimes became more cunning. Cunning, snatching purses, stealing medical supplies. These are like intelligent crimes, not stealing other human beings and making them and turning them into animals, into beasts of burden. See, that's not crime. Following the Civil War, Southern states enacted black codes and vagrancy laws that criminalized newly freed black people, compelling them into labor systems like convict leasing and sharecropping. This was post the slavery era. This is what was going on. They were taking the free people, the free black people that were free, and they were putting them back into the system while making them criminals. That's the beginning of the school to prison pipeline. That's where it originated from. But Du Bois and them are not talking about none of that. There was a PBS special, and the guy that acted in the PBS special, it was called Slavery by Another Name. I can't even remember his name now, man. But the person, he was like one of the lead actors in the documentary. We went to school together. We had a class together, and he had presented it in our class, and that's how I knew about it. That's how I was aware about it, and I started digging into it. Slavery by Another Name explores the new form of slavery after the Civil War. Slavery by Another Name is a 90-minute documentary that challenges one of America's most cherished assumptions, the belief that slavery in this country ended with the Emancipation Proclamation. Like, that's a white person that wrote that. I wrote that, Douglas something. He wrote that. That challenged the assumption that slavery was over after the Civil War. Slavery wasn't over. Slavery is not over till this day. But who is going to say that? Who is going to talk on our behalf? And I'm not talking about just in America. I'm talking about all across the globe. I'm not talking about just in New Jersey, Atlanta, Philly, Cali. Wherever you go, globalism is all over the world. That's why it's called globalism. It's the same system exploiting us all over the world. Right here, this is, I don't know how much of this I'm going to play, but remember, we just read about 1896. This is 2026, January. Let me forward this a little bit.
What was the target? Both two targets were targeted to the driver of the driver in front of the Jeep. The third target, he's from down. Across from the way corner.
Sound like they're in Iraq somewhere, right? Targets. Targets. That's our neighbors. That's our family. That's us that they're talking about. You would think these people are out there committing crime. You're talking about like genocide, murdering people. From what they're saying, from what you hear them, our targets. This is the police department that we're supposed to pay with our taxes to protect us. This is how they talk about us. We are targets. Because if I was outside, they would have been talking about me. If your black ass was outside, they would have been talking about you. Targets. This is the police.
First target, the owner of the Jeep, that's why he was back checking on. Second target, all back. I was just army hooded, sweater. And the third target, he's going on far end, from the other corner. He's wearing like normal pants, base hood, and hot jacket.
Remember, we bought this car. This is from the city of North. The taxpayers paid for this car. The person that's speaking on that microphone, we paying them probably more than $100,000. We're paying the people that's inside the police car. Every single one of these people. We're paying them, even though we got to work 3-4 jobs to survive. We're paying their salaries. And this is how they talk about us, our children, our neighbors. We are targets. I need you to understand that in your mind. We are targets. We're not people. We're not citizens. It is not a democracy. We are targets of these people. You're just getting up, you're going to the store.
Yeah.
And one individual flying. I don't know. I just flying. I'm so
Hell, you know this bro door ain't work? Did you notice his door ain't work? He had to go out the driver's side door. Freaking Keystone cops, man. But I heard them say it was 3 people they're supposed to detain. Let's see how many people they had out there. Let's see how many people they put. 1, 2, 3. Yo, he's dead. He's dead. The police rolled up. Bro tried to pull away, tried to leave because he see all the action going on. He see what's going on out there. I would have left. I'm not staying out there. I don't trust the police. They may shoot me. They may kill me. Bro dead. What did they say, though? What did they say when this happened? This happened on Martin Luther King's birthday. What did they say happened? They told us that there was a shootout with the police, that they shot at the police. Yo, I need somebody on here to Google that up and see if they can look it up and see. I think Wally Bay. See if you could get that up. The day that it happened, I think it was the 19th or the 18th of January. It was that Monday. When they came out, the police said that when they rolled up, they had guns. They were shooting at them. You see anybody shooting at the police? I'm gonna let it keep playing, cause like we talking about crime. We talking about crime. You see, like they got the police here. They got the police station. They got the state troopers. They got the state police. They got the FBI. They got CIA. They got Rutgers police. They got NJIT police. Yo, in North New Jersey, we have about 10 police departments just in this one city, and all these people are making 3, 4, 5-figure salaries. To do what? To do what? To hunt us down.
Harass minorities.
All power to the people, yes. To harass them, to hunt us down. But why are they hunting us down? Because this is just not for sport. There's a reason why they're doing all of this. I'm going to show you. We're going to get to all of that. But this is crime. This is what they call crime. Yo, you know, where they are with Epstein file? Do you see them going to go get targets like this with the Epstein file? We all see it. These people eating babies. They're eating human beings. They kidnapping, raping people. Yo, ain't none of them been brought to justice. They ain't locked none of them up. The president's still sitting up there. They talking about he raping little kids, little girls. They got the evidence. They got the girls. Yo, because you know they tell me there's a
if he was black, that would not be the case, man. They would have took him out in 24 hours.
Remember, I started this by saying about the race thing. Even he could be black, but if he belongs to them, if it's their Uncle Tom, if it's their Negro, like look at Clarence Thomas. Look at Anita Hill went up there and said he raped me. Now they had that. If you don't know who Anita Hill is, see, I'm dating myself. I'm a little bit older. This is like from the 90s. When they tried to confirm Clarence Thomas, this black woman came up there. She was like, no, you can't make him. You can't put him up in the Supreme Court. Dude was wild. He tried to take my ass and I'm trying to get a job. Like, nah, we got to deal with this, right? She came up there and testified in front of Congress, all of this stuff, and he still went in there. Clarence Thomas is still up there because he's a bootlicking Uncle Ruckus. So they'll keep him up there. Remember, you got to remember one key thing. It's a class struggle, goddammit. That's what Fred Hampton said. It's a class struggle, goddammit. You could be as black as me or even blacker. Black as tar. They will allow you in their club if you're willing to do their bidding. It doesn't matter. If you're willing to do their bidding, they will allow you. Let me put the video back in. Wally Bay is dead. He's gone. His family's trying to fight. Trying to fight to make sure they keep his reputation clean, to make these people be held accountable. The mayor's protecting the police. He's talking about this is sad. We at war. This is war right here. We are targets. They ran out into the community with the people out there, children. It doesn't matter. Dude just shot right into the car for no reason. He shot directly into the car and killed that black man. This is what they call crime. This is what Du Bois was calling crime. Black people being black, poor people being poor. Crime, like people committing crime to try to survive to eat. Because we all know, man, we all know that you cannot survive in this society without money. There's not enough money. They don't pay us enough. People got to work 2, 3 jobs to survive. And there's not enough jobs for everybody. Let's get that out right now. Because people be like, let's go get a job. Ain't enough jobs for everybody. Everybody can be working. Everybody can be working where they're able to pay their bills. They're able to, oh shit, my boy Ibrahim, you not working today?
This Negro at home. You ain't on the plantation. So Luke, you got a day off, baby. Well, anyway, I think you talk trucks, right? I think gas is real, man. They got your ass at home. They can afford that gas. What's going on, Ibrahim? You good?
Yeah.
So, you good?
No, I just, there's something going on, and I'm sure you'll get to it later. They just sent me a letter from the IRS saying we did something to your 2022 tax return, and you owe us like $1,000, right? And I'm starting to see America like go back and I think they charging people for this war, man. They not paying TSA workers, and that 2022, you went back 4 years ago, and now I owe you, and then I got another letter where they saying I owe them another $100, and I just wonder if anybody else is we already know we paying more at the pump, we paying more at the grocery store, is anybody else experiencing this where they getting letters from the IRS or they getting these different regions that have to pay the government money? Right?
I know one other person that filed their taxes and they thought they were gonna get their bread back. They said that they ain't get nothing back. Their accountant not even taking their phone calls. I know one more person, a good friend of mine, man. Word up. He said the accountant not even taking his phone call or nothing, and he ain't getting nothing back. He had everything planned on what he was gonna do with that money. They straight snatched it. But we're gonna talk about what you're talking about. We're gonna get to it. They doing all kind of shit. They're really stealing from the people. To continue their crimes. Let me put, damn, that's crazy, yo. Take 10 more days off. Fuck them, yo. Hold up. Hey, yo, this is a store right here. These stores, when I went out there to investigate, he's running the store. There's a store right here on the corner right here. When he went out there to investigate, there's a store here, and there's a store when you come up the block a little bit. Y'all went out there to go get the cameras. I'm like, yo, can I see the video of what happened out here? They refuse to give up that video because they know the police came out there and assassinated somebody. So they want to be on the good side of the police and the politicians. So they refuse to give up their videos. And they got 3 cameras along that wall right there. They wouldn't give it up to me. But why am I bringing that up? These businesses are not our friends in these communities. These businesses are not from the community. They don't live in the community. They just come in here and they extract wealth from the community and they go wherever they're at in the suburbs. But let me play it. And so slow. This big building. You see, this is the truck right here. She told me there was a lady that's staying in this big building right here. It's on my right side. And when I went out there to go find out what happened, I was going door to door everywhere investigating. I was outside. I was yelling and everything. Anybody know what happened? She stood out and she came to the window. The police are murderers. She kept on screaming it. The police are murderers. And when I went to go talk to her, she told me exactly what happened. She said it happened up across the street, and he was in the car, and the car rolled down the block. You see, but by the time I got there, the car was gone. And she said the car ran into that other car right there. So the police run up, exactly what she said. They took him out the car. She said they didn't give him no medical attention or nothing, and he stayed there, and he died in his own blood. For what? You just watched this video. For what? He killed somebody? Did he rape somebody? Did he shoot at the police? What was the crime that these people committed that warranted the death sentence? Because we talk about crime. But the people that own this, somebody say something?
I said his crime was being black. That's it.
All power to the people. But look, these people that what was I about to say? I smooth forgot. But that's okay. It'll come back to me. It'll come back. Look at this. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yo, why? What are you doing? What did he do for you to? This is just the bullets that we see. That we see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Somebody driving away from you. That didn't even shoot at you. That did nothing to you. They're not a threat to you. You want to catch this person? Yo, you got the license plate. They're not going nowhere. They're not leaving out the country. Whatever crime they committed, does not warrant you assassinating them. But the same thing Du Bois was talking about when that man was running away and they shot him in the back. That's this right here. This is right now in our community. Nothing has changed. Nothing.
Followed up for 2 minute arrest. You got one of them shot.
So after he killed him, dragged his body out, threw it right on the motherfucking snow. I know we're not supposed to curse on this app when we're having these conversations. After he killed him, assassinated him, lynched him, threw him right on the snow, right on the sidewalk. His life is nothing. His life means nothing. Our lives mean nothing to these people. And I'm talking to all of you that want to go participate in the Uncle Tom or the Sellout Olympics. We came up with a better term. It's the Sellout Olympics. Because you know when you say Uncle Tom, you got these people that come up there talking about something. Not Uncle Tom, he was Sambo. If it was Sambo or Uncle Tom, you understand what we're saying. Sellouts. That's what everybody will come and argue about. Is it Uncle Tom or is it Sambo? I don't care. They're sellouts. The Sellout Olympics are about to start. What are the Sellout Olympics? Everybody trying to go inside this white city hall, school boards, to go work for the same government that's been choking the life out of our people. Those are Sellout Olympics. You see all the Negroes come out telling all their lies of what they're going to do. You ain't going to do shit. Ain't no nigga ever go inside them institutions and did anything. You ain't going to be the first nigga nothing. You're going to go in there, you're going to do what them crackers tell you, what them imperialists tell you, or they're going to fire your dumb ass. They're going to put rape charges on you. They're going to do something to get rid of you. That's how this year works. You don't believe me? Go back and look in history. Go in there and start talking slick and see if they don't put a hole through your TV. I'm talking about your brain. This is the world we living in. Nothing has changed. So what's the advice we got from Du Bois today? You are the criminal. If you're poor, you're the criminal. This system is here to go after the people that are poor, the people that are starving, people that are committing crimes just so they can eat. Those are the people that this government is targeting, this society goes after. And you have to accept that. If you don't accept that, you're going to keep spinning. Your wheel's going to keep spinning over and over. You're going to keep wondering why you're dealing with what you're dealing with. Let me play this one right here.
Put your hands on the put your hands on that.
You see his face right there? You see his face right there? He don't look white to me. Because you know everybody be like, yo, it's a white thing, it's a racist thing.
Put your hands on that.
Look at his face right there. Look at his face right there. He ain't white. He ain't white. He look like just another nigga in the hood. But their parents brought him up and they raised him to go and work in this system, to go around grabbing black people like this, terrorizing black people. You know, when we read in the history book, they be like, yo, when the Germans used to do this, this was wrong. Where's your cards at? That's what this is. Show me your cards. And I'm going to say it again, because like some people may be thinking, maybe saying there like, yeah, man, it's a drug area. I don't give a fuck what drug they selling. I don't care what they're selling. Nothing people are doing out there is worth this. It's worth being treated like this. They want to catch the real criminals. Go down to City Hall. Go arrest those politicians selling away our city. And the General Secretary is going to show you something later. A video. It's on video. It's been recorded. It's been here for 3 years. None of these people are in jail. None of these politicians are in jail. They're still walking around. They're not in jail because they work for the government. That's the new COINTELPRO. The new COINTELPRO is politicians. They use politicians to put their foot on the necks of the residents. Suffocate them. None of these police are going down to City Hall. They protect the politicians. And they come to our communities. They come in our neighborhoods and brutalize, murder, lynch us. And what are we doing about it? We're going to go vote in the sellout Olympics. That's what we do. That's what they've been telling us to do. Go vote in the sellout Olympics. You know they got rappers in North that are supposed to be council people. A rapper. Do it all Kelly from Lords to the Underground. Know nothing about politics. Know nothing about the legal system. Know nothing about history. Has no philosophy. If you put that some bitch right here and you ask them what's your political philosophy, what is your political philosophy? He couldn't answer that question. I guarantee it. Your political philosophy is what guides you in everything you do. If you're a politician, you can be a Republican. You could be a Democrat. You could be a Marxist. You could be a socialist. It's a whole bunch of different political philosophies you could follow. But you pull any one of these ignorant people down City Hall and ask them, hey, what's your political philosophy? They don't fucking know. Because they don't have one. It is not a prerequisite to sit up there. The only prerequisite is you're going to sign off on whatever these corporations and these rich people want you to do. They want you to get rid of all your people, displace all your people out the community. Because North used to be a chocolate city. It ain't chocolate city no more. Motherfucking vanilla now. With sprinkles and rainbows. It ain't a chocolate city no more. There ain't no white person. My whole life ain't no white person been running City Hall. It's been niggas removing us. Go to the school system. Yeah, General Secretary said stop cursing. I'm gonna try. But I was sick this morning. Like an hour ago, I had to take a little nap because I felt real bad. I didn't think I was gonna have any energy. But I get my head up when I watch these people. They wake me up when I watch how they behave in our community. I ain't had no energy. I had a migraine. I took 2 leaves, and I went and laid down, took a nap for like 45 minutes. This is what we're worried about in our community. While there's a war going on, while people are being thrown into the streets. People are outside in the streets in their empty buildings here. Gentrification. Displacement, because gentrification sounds too nice. Displacement. What are black people in position of power that have a platform? What are they doing? This is exactly what they're doing.
Bill and I are already been presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
Black History Month buckets, really?
I have Tourette's.
Hey, the real thing is not Uncle Ruckus. It was some white dude. They outside the country. I don't know, France somewhere, getting a fancy award, and the dude called him a nigger. What else you expect? You are a nigger. You ain't not free. You think because you got on a suit and you around all these white people, you free? But this is the stuff that these Uncle Toms, these sellouts, look, this is the stuff they go for, trophies. This is what they're running around their whole life. Trophies and money. So they could be in the midst with these people. And you have people in our community. You have black people that's supposed to be intellectuals. They're telling us these are the people that we're supposed to celebrate. I don't know this. What's his name again? The actor, the young one that's supposed to be from North. Michael B. Jordan. He don't live in North. He's not in North. He don't do anything for anybody in North. Not a damn thing.
Isn't he from New York?
Man, I don't care where he's from. He probably was born here. But he not here. What he doing for North? What he doing for people in North? Just because you from North New Jersey, I should celebrate you? Nigga, die. There's people out here starving. You out here, you out here in Hollywood, wherever, like living in condos. Nigga, you got heat. You got hot water. People got rats in their house. And you can say, I'm from North. I'm from North. You ain't been from North since you was a kid, man. You're not from North. You lived here for a while. I'm from North. I feed the people that are starving. We, the people in our organization that have given their lives to serve the residents in North, they're Norkers. Just because you're a celebrity and you live here, you don't claim us. Because we make North. The people that live in North, the people that grew up in North, the people that the police shoot, Waleed Bey, from North. The one that the police attack. We are from North. We make like the credibility that North has about being tough, cool, gangster. We made it. It wasn't no Michael B. Jordan or any other celebrity. It ain't Shaq. It ain't Queen Latifah. These people don't live here. These celebrities don't live in our community. They don't do nothing for nobody in the community. So why should the people celebrate them? Because they were born here and they decided to go join an industry that exploits the people. Because that's all this is. This entertainment, these movies, this singing, this rapping is all to distract the people. You keep the people distracted.
Hold on, damn it. Somebody fix it.
You got it. I mean, these people don't live here. These people do nothing for nobody in the community. They don't serve the community. So why should you be going around saying, yo, I'm from North? So you can get credibility for being from North. You're not from North. You from Vegas. Wherever the hell you at, that's where you from. You in France, you from France. You're not from here no more. Your whole path been rejected. Your North path been rejected. Queen Latifah, rejected. What's her name from Martin? What's her name?
Gina
from Martin, rejected. The big ass boy, rejected. Shaq, rejected. Lords of the Underground, y'all rejected. I think one of them dead. You double rejected. All of y'all rejected. Y'all do nothing for no one in North. People in North are being hunted down by the police. When last time you see any one of them come over here to defend the people being hunted down by the police? People all in the streets, getting thrown in the streets. Where they at with all their money? But we here with no money to serve our community. Man, to hell with all these people. Nigga, I said it. This is what the media do. Remember, what did Du Bois say? He went to the media to go get the information on the crimes. On the crime, he went to the media. They go to the media. So right now, we're at the war. We're in war with Iran. These two clowns work for CNN. They done went out there because they're clowns. They're court jesters. They're scribes. That's what they used to call them back in the day, scribes. A scribe is somebody that takes down notes, that listens to the government or whoever, and they take down notes. That's a scribe. That's what these people are. They're not journalists. They're not reporters. And listen to what she said. She's going to say it out of her own mouth.
We're not showing that because we're not going to show, the Israeli government does not allow us or want us to show where that may have come up. That is.
The Israeli government don't want them to show what's going on. Don't want them to show how they're getting bombed and they're getting destroyed over there. The Israeli government don't. Then what are you doing there? You a scribe. They're talking about it's going to take a week. This war's going to be a week. Yeah, I think we're in day 20. No end in sight. No end in sight. But this is the journalist. Look, there go another journalist. Remember it was snowing a couple of weeks ago?
This man is an absolute legend. There's still people out in doorways looking for shelter, and I think a lot of people think this is why we shouldn't allow hedge funds to own residential property.
You hear what the people are saying? There are people sleeping in doorways trying to find shelters, and this building's open. People are sleeping in doorways. He's saying that's why, like, the people really don't mess with the hedge funds people. We don't mess with this rich people. But listen to the reporter.
This is supposed to be a journalist.
Hey, so what we were talking about earlier too is a little bit of the nostalgia aspect, right? How this feels kind of like back in the '90s when we were growing up.
Yeah, like we were saying, it was much more snow, colder winters, and again, private equity didn't own so much of the housing stock.
You see what she does? No, when you say like, yo, the news said it, I'm gonna go watch, what's that, NBC? I'm gonna go watch CNN, because you know, the liberals, the Democrats, the only bad people is Fox News. Yo, I've been around all of these people. I've been around all of these so-called journalists. I've been around all of them. They ain't worth shit. They're all trash. They're all traitors and sellouts. Every single one of them. You cannot get a job in those industries unless you do what those industries demand you do, which is protect them, lie for them. Other than that, you're not getting a job there. You see her when he starts talking about the real stuff, that people are sleeping outside. She's talking about, this is done nostalgia. That's what she learned in her black school. She probably went in a sorority or something. She probably went to Howard. And that's a fancy word she learned from Howard, nostalgia. You don't feel nostalgia, even though we all see the world is falling apart. He told her, it don't get as cold anymore. It's not that much snow. If you're of a certain age, you remember how the 90s were, the 80s, how the weather used to be. I think we had one snowstorm. I think we had snow probably like two times this whole winter, because they destroyed the planet. And this is supposed to be a reporter.
Thank you so much.
You guys, she did a double mic pull away anytime you mention private equity. This is why everybody hates corporate media, because their only job is to protect corporations. For example, they will report that Trump is banning large investors like private equity from buying homes, and this was on January 7th of this year. But what they won't tell you is that just a couple days later, on January 9th, the SEC moved to change the definition of what it means to be a small investor, from $25 million in assets under management to $1 billion. So basically, everyone is now a small investor. But
everyone's a small investor. If you don't have enough money, then what? Then what? If you don't have enough money, then what? You can't participate. And then they call it a free market. Free for whoever got the most money to exploit everybody else. This is the society that we live in. Nothing has changed from 1896 until now. And look, when they come up with COVID, they come up with all kinds of diseases, they go to politicians. Listen to what
you say, free fries when you get vaccinated. I'm not vaccinated. You're saying I can get this in delicious fries? Why not? But there's also a burger element to this. If this is appealing to you, just think of this when you think of vaccination.
That's de Blasio. That was the mayor of New York. He's telling people we're going to give you free fries and a burger if you go take this vaccination that we demand you take. So somebody could get paid. So all these pharmaceutical companies could get paid for you to go take a vaccine for something that we created in the lab. This is the reality we in. How is this a democracy? You see, when you talk about going to participate in the sellout Olympics, these are the questions you ask yourself. How is he even allowed to be walking around? He should be locked up. Fries. And we about to talk about the war in Iran. We about to go a little bit in depth in it. If you don't know what's going on, if you don't know nothing about the war, it ain't going to be long. I got videos, I got charts, I got everything to show you. We're going to breeze right through this. But I'm going to start it off with this conversation. Listen to what he says.
My question to you is, do you want us to win this war?
That's Joe Biden. Who the fuck is... Hey, yo, my bad, yo. I got to edit myself. Well, who's us? I look like I'm in Iran. I look like I'm in Israel. I look like I'm over there bombing them for the FC class. Who is us, Joe Buttons? That's Joe Buttons. You see, you give platforms to rappers. They give them that platform. The rappers to talk about what? What are they talking about? And then when it comes to something serious, because like most of you sitting there and you don't understand how serious this is.
but it's about to come affect you. If it's not affecting you already. Because I know you're paying more at the store for food, but you're probably not even paying attention. You're paying more for gas, but you're probably not paying attention. But it's about to get uglier. But you heard what Joe Biden just said? You want us to win this because he's part of their us. He has money. He doesn't want the dollar to go down. He don't want them to destroy the dollar. He don't want nothing to happen that messes up his condition right now, his state of life where he at. He's not trying to turn nothing upside down. Remember, we're in a class struggle. To him, America is us. To me, I'm on some Malcolm X shit. Burn that whole thing down. Blow. There's a fire. Blow. So the fire can be stronger. See, that's where I'm coming from. But you heard Joe Biden's us. Us.
Do you want us to win this war? Us as in America. We don't have to agree with why it started or how it got here. But once it's in the thick of it, aren't you or shouldn't you be rooting for a win?
Buffoon. As Panthers, man, all sidedness. We need to know everything. I don't talk to myself, it don't matter how it started, it don't matter what happened, but since we're here, don't you want us to win? Yo, Trump is not us. Miriam Edelson is not us. These billionaires are not us. I want them all to die. I want them all to go out there to go fight that war themselves. And wait till they start with the draft. My son ain't going. I'll buy that ticket for him to go to Canada, Africa, wherever he got to go. Matter of fact, we're supposed to be going to Africa anyway. He may just not come back. My son ain't going to die in your war. Man, we will go to jail first. I will go to jail with him before you go to your war to go die for any of these people. All of you that make money, all of you in the managerial class, all you rich people, you go. You go fight. Because guess what's going to happen after we go to the war, we go fight? We're going to be paying $2,500 in rent. We're still going to be working 3-4 jobs to survive. What am I trying to save that reality for? Man, burn it all down. Burn it all down. You heard what I said.
I mean, no, I don't root for a win. What I root for, because I know what a win would mean. Especially even the word "we" is doing very particular work in that sentence, right?
See how you go around it? Even the word "we," you doing particular work. This is what the black intellectuals do. They try to smooth it over. Like he's about to tell you, like right now, he's trying to think of how to justify not telling the truth. He's going to say all this other stuff. People are going to die here. People are going to die. Man, it's illegal. It's a war crime. These people are war criminals. What they're doing is illegal. You know, after World War II, the whole world came together. The West. Not the whole world, the West. Because everybody else, they enslaved. So they came together and they came up with stuff called the United Nations. They came up with all these laws that everybody's supposed to abide by. Because we can't live by the law of the jungle out here, because then we're going to all end up dead. You see, that's what they say they learned from World War II. After dropping nuclear weapons on people, they say they learned. So we're going to come up with the United Nations. We're going to come up with all these different laws and charters where people are supposed to abide by them. You're not supposed to attack a sovereign country. You're not supposed to bomb somebody that ain't do nothing to you. You're not supposed to kill leaders of other countries. You're not supposed to kill religious leaders. You're not supposed to kill the people. You're not supposed to murder children. You're not supposed to drop bombs on girls. Yeah, these people have violated every single law. And nobody's holding them accountable. That's what Mark Lamar Hill should be saying. I hope they lose. Maybe we'll get a new reality. Something else could come up from the ashes. But that's not what he's going to say. Hey, remember the kids? When I started the show off, I was playing. Hey, General Secretary, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to piggyback off what you said about Joe talking about he don't care why it started, but now that we here. But I guess you already made the point. Like, it does matter how we started, because then if you knew how we started, you wouldn't. Well, he still would ask the question, do you want us to win? But if he was educated in how America does their foreign policy, he wouldn't have asked that question. but he's not educated, and freaking he's trying to learn the politics. I think he's trying to change his show more towards being more serious and shit. I don't know why, but then he has Mike, this guy up here, trying to explain to him, and he tiptoeing around the fucking situation. Excuse me.
Hey,
but yeah, it's like, I don't know. These people, they just make me mad.
I just noticed the general secretary wanted to speak, and she has her hand up. If you want to speak, you try to get my attention for you to be able to come in. I know I'll be talking fast. Man, this is our hood shit, man. Yeah, when we be in the hood, this is how we talk. I grew up in the hood my whole life. I'm really from North. Go ahead, Ibrahim.
You had said earlier about if you want to join your political ranks in your community, that you ain't going to do nothing. You just going to simulate into it and become one of them. That's because you need numbers, right? The power is in the numbers. It's in the people. Even when you think about school segregation, right? They sent the kids, but they didn't send the principals and the teachers. But, so now when you get these individuals who come over there, even if you radical, right, you just outnumber. And eventually you just end up assimilating. And they did a study with women joining the labor market. And it's that, women are saying men are horrible bosses. We need a woman because a woman would be more compassionate. Even if she does have more compassion, she joins this very competitive market with all of these competitive natures. And what she does is end up adapting. That's why if you had a woman boss, women bosses are more held than men. Anyway, to this issue right here, Mark Lamont Hill is more informed than Joe Budden podcast, right? Because what you really have is one person who reads, one person who skims, and I think his name is Ish, and then the rest is just idiots, right? You can tell they just on social media trying to understand very complex situations without the capacity to understand it. What you need is they brought Mark Lamont Hill on to tackle these issues when they come up, right? And be more than just superficial, right? Get deeper into the conversation, but you need more than one. Because a lot of times, he'll just be wrong, and there's nobody to correct it. I mean, even if I was on the platform, right, I would need you or somebody else, right, because I don't know anything. So, Mark Lamont Hill sits up there when it comes to intellectual conversations on the highest, he has the highest aptitude, but he's wrong a lot, right? If you ever watched the Candace Owens and him video, he couldn't even explain what a woman was and who gives birth. So he's just wrong on these issues. Joe Budden and them don't really know anything, right? They have opinions, but they have unlearned opinions, right? And I'm glad that Mark Lamont Hill said that we is doing a lot, right? Because you have I'm not even gonna say two different Americas. You have many different Americans. And Joe Budden tried to compare it to if this was your man and your man go to the club, you just want to see your man. What if your man is an oppressor? What if your man is somebody that'll stab you in the back? Sometimes our family.
Yo, you know what? Yo, pause right there. Let me get to that so you can continue. Stay right there. Let me get to it.
I think about myself in the context of a global community as well. I don't just think of myself just as a citizen of the United States, although I am. With a lot of us who are even disconnected from the issue.
Hey, yo, he just said citizen of the United States, even though I am. Yo, we are not citizens of the United States. Yo, the United States does not treat us like citizens. We are second and third rate citizens. That is how the United States treat us. You see, but him in that class status where he at, he can consider himself a United States citizen. He has enough money to go to court and be able to fight these people in court. He gets jobs where he's able to have insurance. He's able to have heat, and he probably got a fireplace in his house. Now, I mean, this. We two different people. I mean, so he's speaking for himself. They need to have a Negro from the hood, a black person that's poor, not somebody with money like these people. But I want to get to that part that Ibrahim was talking about.
We want to win. When you're thinking about the safety of the troops, the stability of our lives, all that stuff, I want that. But I don't want that to come at the expense.
Safety of what troops? It's I can't even let him talk. You see, this is all the stuff I'm talking about. Safety of what troops? These are not our troops. They don't do nothing for us. The military do absolutely nothing for the people, for the taxpayers. The military not here to protect us.
The military goes and steal other people's resources for the rich. That's who they work for. But Mark Lamont Hill can't say that, or he's going to lose his job at Temple. He ain't going to be able to be in that little circle with all these middle class, middle managerial Negroes. So he has to walk the line talking about our military. This ain't my military. This ain't my soldiers. If you're going to go fight and kill people around the world, you are a war criminal. You ain't doing it for me, chump. So don't try to put me in that map.
Disability, safety, and dignity, and the rights of other people. So as I watch this happen, I don't want a win any more than if your homies fight. The first thing you want, what you're rooting for, is resolution.
Go ahead. Your homies are fighting. Go ahead, Ibrahim.
No. Sometimes your homie need his ass whooped. Sometimes you root for your homie to get his ass whooped. And, like, that's why you need somebody else on there. You know, it's March Madness right now, right? And those of us who grew up playing basketball, you play with a team. Sometimes your teammates can push you further than what you need to be to make you a better person. Sometimes your man is a shit starter, and he goes into places and he starts stuff, and he just needs his ass whooped, and you don't help him. And everybody who went there together kind of look at each other and be like, we just gonna let him get it, because he needs to learn the lesson. America needs to learn the lesson. When these, what do they call them? The National Guard, right? Because you said, like, these aren't our people. When the National Guard shows up to Newark, even if they from North Carolina, Philly, wherever, when they got a job to do, and that job is to protect imperialism and protect capital holders. Even if this is your man, right? He may not put that boot on your neck, but he's going to turn his neck as his coworker does it, right? Because he got a job to do and he's getting paid to do that job. And if he don't, they're going to court-martial him, right?
Yes.
They're going to treat him like they're going to treat you, right? And I'm sorry because we misinformed a lot of times, and we sign up to get benefits because America has oppressed us in such a way. Some of us only see an out to join the military, and we don't think about, further on down the line, what happens if they turn you on your own people. But we know during the George Floyd riots that it happened a lot. And sometimes you can see people with this double consciousness, and they'll be conflicted on, like, man, I signed up to, like, be a petty officer or something. Now they got me in my own community policing my own people. And you can just see it in their face, like, I don't know what to do, but I got to do it, right? Because I'm not strong enough to take the sacrifice and get court-martialed. So this whole we thing, I don't think Mark Lamont Hill went further enough. And this is why anything you join, it has to be a collective. You need more than Mark Lamont Hill, right? You need way more than Mark Lamont Hill. I don't even think he's qualified. But even if you have somebody that was more radical, we got to move in packs. And that's just the point that I was trying to make.
And you're 100% correct. But they don't want to do that work. For Mark Lamont Hill to have that pack, he's going to have to leave from his confines of Temple, whatever suburb he live in, and he's going to have to go in the hood and organize the people in the hood. He doesn't want to do that because that shit don't pay. That shit don't pay at all. He's going to be using his money, his resources, his time. He's not ready to serve the people. I mean, General Secretary, go ahead.
Just to go back on why Mark Lamont Hill is there, even though he's more informed and more read than the rest of the other panelists, he's there to confuse and miseducate the people. So when we look at somebody like Joe, and the people are like, yeah, Joe don't know what he's really talking about because he's not versed in this field. And then we go to Mark Lamont, and he'd be like, oh, that makes sense. But Mark Lamont is not telling you the whole truth. He's not telling you that for the past 40, 50 years that America's been coming for Iran, that Israel wants to control that region, Israel and America. And we should come up with a name, Israel, America, like one name for them, like J-Lo and stuff like that, because it is just one entity. So America, Israel, he's not going to tell the truth about that because, again, like the chairman said, his class is connected. He's there to protect them people. You can hear him talk about the Epstein class and everything, but he won't connect it to Obama. He won't connect it to Hillary. He won't connect it to the Democrats because he's a Democrat shill. But he'll blow his mouth up about the Republicans and Trump and Epstein and the war. This is not the first time that America came after Iran. It happened through every single presidency, and he has sat there and said nothing.
You see his face? Look at his face. Lying ass. Yo, take a screenshot of it. That's a lying face if I ever seen one. He's trying to make up lies.
Look, come here. Cool this shit out there. Let's get out of here. That's, of course, yeah. That's playing games. Yeah. I don't want a loss because of what losses mean, right? And if we're talking about Iran in particular, there are consequences to an Iran quote-unquote win. What I'd like to see, in the purpose of having the international community implement international bodies like the United Nations, for example, is to have people who can intervene to create some kind of resolution where you have to have winners and losers, because that the very framework of winners and losers requires a lot of people to die, people's land to get annexed to taken.
This is some horrible kumbaya stuff. You need winners and losers when you have oppressed and oppressors, right? But keep in mind, as Mark Lamont Hill speaks, he's a college professor. This is the type of education you go to college to get, right? This is why in the miseducation of a Negro, they say Harvard ruined more Negroes than whiskey. Because you go in, and the way you come out is worse than the way you came in. You
come out like this clown.
You know, so Joe Budden was because Joe Budden has a big platform, right? One of the biggest African American, I think he's the #1 Black American podcast in America. So what they did was gave Mark Lamont Hill a bigger pedestal to teach the uninformed people, and that's what he's doing, right? He's just miseducating them.
Yeah, to miseducate them. That's all he's doing. And bro just asked him, so what does a win by Iran look like? I want to see. Go ahead, answer, Mark.
Except for the number of people who died. I'll give you a concrete example. Think about Vietnam. The U.S. lost the Vietnam War. Right. Just by any objective measure, the U.S. lost the Vietnam War. So if you say, what did that mean here? Well, it meant a lot of our uncles and aunts and friends and relatives died. You know, and there was an economic cost for the war machine. And a whole lot of people got rich from that war machine here. So it also strengthened the gap between the have-nots and the have-gots. Those are the kind of things that I don't want to see, you know. But the Vietnamese won, but for the Vietnamese winning kind of meant resisting the imperial power. It meant making U.S. say, no, fuck it, this ain't worth it. You know, like, if you bully somebody every day and they can fight, at some point the bully going to look for somebody else. Even if ultimately they don't lose, they don't want to fight that harder all the time. So an Iran win could just look like resisting and keeping their land. In the same way that a Cuban win for the last 50 years meant keeping the imperialists at arm's length. Sometimes, because they want you to think that if Iran is successful, that means that they're going to take over the whole country and it's going to be a global caliphate and then Sharia law is going to control over. That's not what the Iranian...
Iran winning a war of attrition with the U.S. would mean more than just the safety of their people. It would mean the crashing of our economy, the crashing of...
Bang! See that? The crashing of our economy. That's why Joe asking them that question. But Mark's supposed to be so smart. He's supposed to be so brilliant. You don't know that? You see, Joe know that because he got money. He got money invested in this. He don't want to see the dollar drop. Well, go ahead, Joe. Talk. Go ahead. Let me...
Spending without resources.
You think so? Yeah. I don't think so.
Now, I'm going to stop it there. You heard Mark say, I don't think so. Yo, Joe's supposed to be the one that don't know nothing about politics. You see, Mark Lamont Hill knows. He knows the truth, but he doesn't want to answer the truth because he's a fraud. So, like, let's say...
Hold on, Chairman.
Go ahead.
A win for Iran, they have demands.
Hey, don't jump the gun.
Don't jump demands yet?
Don't jump the gun.
All right.
Okay. So now I want to talk about, okay, and the Iranians are going to use asymmetrical warfare. What does it look like? And at the end...
what is asymmetrical warfare? All right, for those of you that don't know, so when you go to war, you could go to war with a country that's big, that got all the weapons, that got everything. They're the Goliath. And they got all the weapons. You can't beat them because you're David. You're small and you're little. So if you want to fight an asymmetric war, you got to find what hurts that person that you're fighting, the giant. So if you're small, you're quicker, you're faster, you're more nimble. So you can't stand in there fighting them on the inside. You got to know how to take the shots and keep it trucking. I mean, so that's for the little guy. The big guy, you just want to come and smash and just grab him and break him down. Asymmetric warfare is trying to find another way to fight.
that gives you the advantage. So he's saying Iran has to fight this war asymmetrically because they cannot fight it because they don't have the ships, they don't have the fighter jets, they don't have the satellites, they don't have all the weapons that America has. The largest military, whatever, all this stuff, what Trump is saying. We got this, we don't have none of that. See, but they're not stupid. So they said we're gonna come at this asymmetrically. We're gonna find another way to get you. And that's what they've been planning for the last 40-something years for these people. The last 30 years. I'm talking, you see, when I say 30 years, I'm going back to the 90s when they went to war with them. Dang, that's like almost 40 years ago when George Bush Sr. went to war. But listen to this.
Is this. Before the invasion, the Iranians must do 4 things if it is to prevail in the war. Okay? And this is what we call the Iran strategy matrix. The Iran strategy matrix means that from now on, everything they do must fit into the strategy matrix. Okay? It must accomplish the objective of the strategy matrix. So the first thing it must do is unite the population. Second thing,
the first thing, they must unite the population. If you're watching Iran, if you're watching what's going on, if you're paying attention, there's people, millions of people in the streets right now protesting. They're telling their government, don't give in. Don't give in. Even though they were protesting, because like you got to understand, since 1979, since when the people took their country back from these Europeans, since they took their country back, they had sanctions on them. They've been attacking them since 1979. So if there's sanctions and the people can't eat, the people are starving, there's going to be turmoil. That's why the West always puts sanctions on people, because they know that people are going to get upset and they're going to want to overthrow those that are in power. In Iran, for decades, they've been starving them, and these people became restless. They've been challenging the people in power. But when America started throwing bombs on them, guess what happened? They galvanized and came together. Now the people are in the streets saying, go kill Satan. And Satan is America. They say, fight Satan and go fight Israel. Do not give in. Now the people are dug in. I'm not fighting for America, dog. I'm not fighting for these people, these corporations. If somebody come over here, there's a war time happen, man, I'm not doing nothing to save none of these people. Because whatever comes next got to be better than this. Got to be better than this. People raping people, nothing happened to them. They eating people, nothing happened to them. They bombing and killing. Whatever they do, they face no consequence. Obama's a war criminal. How many countries did he bomb? How many people did he kill? How many presidents did he kill? And I went to Obama because most of you think like Obama's a nice guy. Most of you Obama. So like I'm starting with Obama, but going all the way back, you can Trump, Biden, Obama, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Reagan, Nixon. No, it wasn't Nixon. I think it's Carter, Ford, whatever. However they go, all the way down the line. You could go all the way back. They've all been war criminals. Eisenhower, all these people, Roosevelt, go all the way back. All these people being garbage human beings. None of them have ever been held accountable. In fact, when you become president, they can't even hold you accountable. They don't wrote up laws like that. You can't hold none of these people accountable. But he said the first thing you got to do is get the people to be unified. I'm going to tell you now, if you don't know, the Iranian people are unified.
What must do is build alliances. And the third thing is win global opinion. The fourth is weaken the enemy. So
boom, weaken the enemy, win global opinion, build allies. So you know what? So who's the allies that they need to build? Russia and China. When they had protests in the streets a couple of months ago, there were protests in the street. America and Israel were sending people there to go in there and kill police officers, to go in there and start a revolution. China and Russia came in and gave the Iranians the equipment for them to enable them to find these people in the country, destroy their networks, and get rid of all those people. The drones, the stuff that Iran is using, by and large come from China, and they're getting help from Russia. They're already building alliances with this country. You got the Houthis,
The Houthis say they about to enter this shit too. The Houthis, they down in Yemen. You got Hezbollah. You got all these people that they're building alliances with. And who's America building an alliance with? America told all these countries, I need you to come help me clear the Strait of Hormuz. Everybody told them, kiss my ass. We're not coming to help you do nothing. You go do it yourself. They said, we're not participating in the war. So all of these things right here, what's the first one? Unite the people. Build alliances. Everybody around the world want America and Israel to lose. Go on social media. Read all the comments. They already got their four already. They're just sitting back right now. So that's the fourth thing that Iran had to get for them to be able to fight the asymmetric war. Because if you don't have the people behind you, you can't fight an asymmetric war. If you don't build alliances, you can't fight asymmetric war. You can win if you don't have all four of those things there. You cannot fight an asymmetric war.
Or everything that Iran
weaken the enemy. We about to get to how they're weakening the enemy. Because you know Lamont just said that if they win, nothing will happen to us. Lamont he's not a fool. He's just a fraud. He's just a fraud. I don't even know if we need to listen to this.
Are you confident that you'll be proven right with the third prediction that Iran?
But the reason why this professor's up here, everybody's talking to him, because he predicted. He predicted Trump was going to win. He predicted Trump was going to go. This was years ago. He predicted Trump was going to go to war with Iran. And then he predicted that they're going to lose. So they got him on. He's on every channel talking, explaining his game theory, why he understood and knew all of this was going to happen.
Ultimately will prevail in this war?
Right. So right now the United States and Iran are fighting a war of attrition. The United States is trying to degrade Iran's military capacity, and Iran is trying to strangle the world economy. And it turns out that Iran is putting on a lot of pressure on the GCC, and I think at the end of the day, the United States will be compelled to send ground forces. Once the United States...
GCC, these are all terms that you need to know. Those are Gulf countries. Those are all the countries in the Gulf that basically the West, America, the British, they erected these countries. That's what they do. Like you were just talking about, we were talking about Vietnam, how they lost all these wars in all these countries back in the 60s and 70s. So when they go there and they lose the war, whatever part of the territory that they had, they turn that into a country that they control. They put puppet governments in there. They did the same thing in the Middle East. So they have all these fake countries like Dubai. These are fake countries that are put there to be able to sustain American dominance in the area. So he's talking about the GCC countries. That's what he's talking about. Bahrain, all the different countries.
Sending ground forces, there's no turning back. It's all in. The surplus policy kicks in. It'll be another Vietnam for the United States because Iran is a mountain fortress. And the United States right now doesn't have the manpower, the manufacturing capacity, and the political will to fight a long war of attrition.
So he's saying right now they're going through a war of attrition because you know Trump came out, after a week it's going to be over. He's a freaking idiot. He's telling you like this is a war of attrition. It's going to go on for years, maybe decades. I mean, and what Iran is trying to do is trying to choke America economically. And I'm about to show you how they're going to do that. You see, but this is what the media ain't telling you. This is what CNN, MSNBC, all of them should be telling the people. Your local news should be telling you. But they're not telling you that because they're all fraud, they're all paid off and bought off by the people that are in power. The people that are in power that are committing these crimes, that are taking us to, not me, I ain't going nowhere, but are taking people to war, to go fight in another country for them to get rich. But he's saying when they put the military on the ground, when they send the troops in, what Trump is talking about doing. He said they're going to be there forever because it's going to be a war of attrition.
Right, so I think because of what you said at the end there, it's highly unlikely that Trump would commit ground forces because he's always pledged not to. And I think he would see that.
This dude is a buffoon. He said Trump ain't not going to commit troops because he pledged not to. He pledged not to go to war with them, you freaking idiot. I mean, but these are the people they put on TV. He's a fraud. He works for Empire himself. I mean, Piers Morgan. I mean, he's a Zionist KKK son bitch. That's what he is. But he's trying. What he's really trying to do is trying to discredit
discredit him.
The inherent danger of that. So if he doesn't commit ground forces, how do you see this war playing out?
Well, right now, if Trump doesn't commit ground troops, he does have variety of options. The first option is to simply declare victory and call it a day. Unfortunately, the problem with that is that U.S. bases are still exposed.
So if you call, so like he's saying, if you don't commit troops, what are his options? He could just say declare victory like they always do and leave. But Trump can't do that. All those bases that they have surrounding Iran, those bases are cooked. They're done. The dollar is done because Iran said we're changing the currency. For you to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, you gotta have Chinese currency. So now the petrodollar is not American dollar no more, because that's what gave America its power. Everybody had to buy everything using the American dollar. Yo, Iran about to flip that. And once Iran flip that, all the power goes to whoever that money's under, and that's China. So Joe Biden's, whatever money he got in the bank, all of that dropped. Whatever wealth you think he has, all of that drops. So when you hear Mark Lamont, that's supposed to be so smart, say an Iran win would do nothing to people in America, he's a buffoon. Or he's lying to the people. Let him finish.
The GCC economies are still under pressure. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed. And there are no signs that Iran is interested in peace negotiations. Iran feels as though it has the upper hand because it has global will and resources to draw this war out. Now, let's assume that Trump does withdraw from the Middle East. What happens is that the GCC nations of Saudi Arabia, Iran, Qatar, Kuwait, UAE now are forced to pay a ransom to Iran because they supply the world with their oil for the Strait of Hormuz. 20% of the world's oil flows to the Strait of Hormuz.
If they win, you have to go through them. The Strait of Hormuz, that's where everything comes from. And I'm going to show you what the Strait of Hormuz is. If you've never seen it before, you're going to see it today. But this is Iran when they announced, like, yo, ain't nobody coming through the strait no more.
All navigating through the Strait of Hormuz is forbidden. No ship in every time is not allowed to pass from the Strait of Hormuz till next notice. This is the Navy out.
So Iran said nobody can cross that strait. All that stuff that's supposed to come through there, yo, we shutting that down. Can nobody go through there? So you got hundreds of ships, millions of dollars just sitting out there because they're scared to go through there. Because if you cross through there, the same thing that happened to the first few couple of people that went through there, got their ship blown up, your ship will be blown up. So all the cargo, all the oil, that whole ship that cost billions of dollars, all that stuff going to be at the bottom of the ocean. So everybody's parked over there and they're not moving for the last 19, 20 days. That's what's going over there right now. See, but the media ain't telling us what's going on. I mean, so now why come nobody can really go into Iran? Why can't you say ground troops in there? Why is it going to fail? Why do they have all this confidence that they can protect their nation despite all the bombs, all the stuff you got? Listen to them.
America is planning to send ground forces into Iraq, and I will explain why this might be a catastrophic mistake. Because Iran is not like Iraq, it is built like a fortress. Let's start with the west and southwestern side. Iran's entire western edge is protected by the Zagros mountain range. This mountain range stretches along the border with Iraq and reaches toward Turkey. The terrain here is rocky, high, and brutal. It is not just mountains. It is endless choke points, narrow passes, and perfect ambush territory. We've already seen what happens here when in 1980, Iraq invaded Iran. Iraq had a clear plan. It wanted to capture the oil-rich province of Khuzestan and then push deeper to crush Iran's revolution. Iraq had tanks, manpower, and support. But for years, the war got stuck. Iraqi forces all got stuck. Iraqi tanks, manpower, and support.
Who support? In 1980, who support did Iraq have to go in there and take it over? Yo, they used this country. They got the military, everything. They got USA. They were bombing them and everything. They couldn't get in there. Look how far they got.
But for years, the war got stuck. Iraqi forces reached the flatter areas near Kurdistan, but crossing the Zagros and moving toward Iran's core was a nightmare. And as a result, after 8 years, the war ended without a result. That is what the Zagros does. It slows down armies until they bleed. Now look to the north. Along the Caspian side sits the Alborz Mountains, another natural wall. These mountains make ground invasion from the northern side extremely difficult. So Iran is protected from 2 directions by mountain barriers. But even if a foreign army somehow crosses the coastline, fights through the mountains and enters Iran's interior, the geography becomes hostile again. Iran has massive desert regions, like the Lut Desert, which is known for extreme heat, as temperatures here can reach up to 70 degrees. This is not a terrain where large armies can move easily. It destroys vehicles, strains supply lines and exhausts troops. This is why Iran has historically been so hard to conquer. Iran is not one open plain. It is layers of natural defences, mountains, deserts and long distances. So if America sends ground forces into Iran, it is not just choosing a war. It is choosing a war where geography itself fights back. And that is exactly how superpowers make catastrophic mistakes.
Catastrophic mistakes. And the generals, everybody know you don't do this. And they told Trump already. But Trump is a buffoon. That's why you have paper tigers like that in position of power. That's why you want them to be in position of power. Yo, I told you, I'm not voting. Yo, nobody, I'm not voting anyway. I don't vote. Nobody should be voting for no Kamala Harris. Nobody should be voting for none of these people just because they look like you. Let these people go into office. Let Trump go into office. You see, if Kamala had went into office, she would have been using that sister power, that girl power. She would have came up here and had all you dumbass Negroes talking about, yeah, let's go to war with Iran. No, we want Trump. We want Trump up there. Trump don't listen to the generals. He's not listening to nobody. He's just going to go in there and you're going to learn. You're going to learn. This is the same professor. He's about to explain to you why they cannot defeat them. How they...
It's possible that Russia and China will also enter this war alongside the Iranians. This is World War III. This map, if you don't really know the war, if you don't know the participants, if you don't know weaponry, this map will tell you exactly how this war will progress. All right, so some certain things to keep in mind.
So look, all of this over here, all this region over here, this is Iran over here. This is like all the way going, like you see the little hand I have, stretching all the way out here. That's over like 300 and something miles of land from here all the way. Because this is the strait. This is the Strait of Hormuz. When they're saying these ships, it's because the ships got to come and get gas from the Gulf Coast. This is the Gulf Coast over here, where they have all those countries and all them bases that America put in there, which are like really gas stations. They take the gas out the ground and then they ship it out through the Strait of Hormuz. This is the strait right here. All of this. And this is Iran. And Iran is saying this is closed. Can't nobody get no gas out of it. Go ahead, finish talking to them.
This is what we call this area, okay? Really small. It's 33 kilometers wide, okay? People can swim across it. It's really, really narrow.
That's right here. This is the strait right here. You got to get through this strait. You got to bring your ship through the strait to go out into the ocean, whatever, and go wherever you're going. And Iran is saying this is closed.
Okay? This small area, guys, it's called the Strait of Hormuz. Right? And it's important because it's really the center of the world. This one area is the nexus, the pivot of the world. Let me explain why. First of all, from the GCC, you have 20% of all the world's oil flowing through this narrow strait.
20% of all the world's oil is flowing through here. 20%. Yo, pay attention to what he's saying.
Where does it go? It goes to Asia, India, Pakistan, South Korea, China, Japan. India depends on 6% of its oil.
60% of the oil for a whole country is dependent on this strait. That's India.
From this area. China depends on 40%.
China, 40% of the oil come from there.
Japan, 75%.
Japan, 75%. That's all. That's basically all the oil for the nation is coming through there. If they shut this down, what do they do to those countries? What do they do to those economies?
Congress of Japan said that, listen, if the Strait of Hormuz closes, we run out of oil in about 8-9 months. The entire Japanese economy would collapse in 8-9 months if the Strait of Hormuz were to close. And guess what? They were to close the Strait of Hormuz. Okay? So we expect that the entire global economy will suffer greatly over the next few months. All right, so that's point number one. Point number two is, okay, so the GTE sends oil across the Strait of Hormuz, and what do they get back in return? Food, guys. All right, so
now remember the GCC, those countries that America and the British have put there to be able to control and have dominance in the Middle East. All those countries can grow food. It's a desert land. There's no water, there's no food. So they send the oil out, and the deal that they've made is that food comes in all through that strait. And guess who's been sitting there watching them for the last 40 years? All these countries that's been helping America attack Iran. They've been sitting there the whole time. All these years they've been watching them. All right, hey, keep playing with me, yo. Keep playing with me. Keep siding with them, yeah? You're going to help them come in here in 1980? You're going to help them come in here in 91? You're going to help them come in here, keep destroying, keep killing our people? All right, keep it up. So remember, all their food got to come through here.
People don't appreciate the GCC, but it is really the linchpin of the American empire. What's the American empire? The American empire is the petrodollar. All right? Now, here's what the petrodollar is. The US dollar is worth nothing. It's only valuable when people want it.
Why is the US dollar worth nothing? Because there's no gold. There's no gold standard. Nothing. The US dollar is not supported by anything. It used to be gold. We used to have gold inside inside what they used to call it? I forgot what they used to call it. Inside the building, whatever. They raided it. They took all the gold out of it. The Federal Reserve. They used to have gold and all this. The dollar is not based on gold anymore. What is it based off? It's based off oil. The petrodollar. If you shut the Strait of Hormuz down and you flip that petrodollar and you change it to the Chinese currency, America is cooked. This is what your media should be telling you. This is what the newspapers, everything should be telling you. And when the dollar becomes cooked, what happens? What happens if we're in a world war? What are the conditions that we got to look forward to?
But the thing says that if you want oil from us, you have to pay us in US dollars. Okay? Then that is the basis of the value of the US dollar. So, if the GDP collapses, the American economy and the American empire both collapse at the same time. Damn. The problem.
What Mark Lamont Hill said? What Mark Lamont Hill said? He said, nah, that's not going to affect us. It's going to be like in Vietnam. When you went on to Vietnam, didn't control the Strait of Hormuz. Vietnam didn't have the power to shut your whole economy down. Mark Lamont Hill.
No, the GDP is an artificial construct of empire. It does not exist naturally. Why? Because there's no food, there's no oil, no water. Okay, guys? No food, no water. So
no food, no water. How do they get their water? You see all that water right there, that salt water? They got to distill their water. So they got distilling companies or factories around in all them different countries. You know what Iran said? We're gonna knock all them things down. We're gonna hit them all. We're gonna hit your oil production. Yo, because if they hit remember, America's oil is there. If they hit them oil dispensaries, whatever, they hit all of that, they're affecting us. Us here. Because I gotta go get gas. We got an after school program. I gotta drive the whole city, up all around the city, picking up kids, taking them to the after school program, taking them to school, taking them home. We got to feed them. Yo, I'm noticing the prices when I go fill up the tank. When we go to buy food to feed these kids in the after school program, I'm noticing it. And guess what? Everything we doing is free. Everything we give to the community is free. So Trump is putting a tax on the free stuff that we giving out to the community. What's his name? Michael B. Jordan ain't giving out shit. Shaq ain't giving out nothing. I never seen them doing nothing in the hood. Queen Latifah ain't doing nothing. They're not doing nothing. If the only thing they do in our communities, these celebrities, these rich people, they come in here and do charity work.
Like they give a kid a book bag to go to a white supremacy school and they think they're doing something. These people are backwards. You see, but it's going to affect us. People going to lose their jobs. Everything going to go up. Rent going to go up. Yo, they find any reason to take everything up.
These things are able to go in the millions because of all these petrol dollars flowing in. If you pull some of the petrol moves, there's no food coming in, right? They're on a starve. How much food does the GCA get from overseas? 80%.
80%.
80% of all the food it consumes comes from overseas. That is import. It doesn't grow by itself. It imports. All right? So the sugar moose is really key. And again, the Iranians will close it in order to strangle the global economy and therefore back up the American empire.
So we're not going to go gun for gun. You got guns, I got guns too. We're not going to go gun for gun. My man Pro used to have that song out there. He used to be rapping that. I think he got it from what's his name? From Wu-Tang. You got guns, we got guns too. What up, son, Duke? Like, yo, we not going to fight you blow to blow. We're going to just cut this off. Do you see what asymmetric war means now? When they say asymmetric war, we're not going to bomb America. We don't have no airplanes to go bomb America. We don't have no missiles to shoot at America. But we got you, though. We're going to cut off the water. We're going to cut the water off, and you're going to starve. They're fighting asymmetric war. And all the generals know this. Everybody, all the military minds, all these people know this. But Trump don't. Trump don't. And the rich people, the billionaires that are making Trump do all of this, because it's not Netanyahu. Yo, I know you've been listening to the media. Everybody been saying Netanyahu. Don't listen to these people. The same billionaires that control Trump control Netanyahu. Netanyahu is nobody. Netanyahu could die tomorrow, and they're going to put somebody else in there. So this ain't Netanyahu. These are the billionaires that control Trump. The billionaires that control this world. Bezos, what's his name? Miriam Adelson. These are the people that pay millions, hundreds of millions to Trump for him to be president. And they're talking about running him again.
All right. The other thing you will notice is these mountains. These mountains is what are called Iran. All right, this is Iran. This is GCC. Okay, this is not a fair action. Right? These are mountains. And what can you do in mountains? We can hide rocket bases. You can hide drone bases. You can hide missiles. And that's the entire Iranian offensive strategy. All right? From here,
let me show you something. Here.
This is what's called Iran. All right, this is Iran. This is GCC. Okay, this is not fair action. Right? These are mountains. What can you do in mountains? We can hide rocket bases.
That's why I wanted to show you this. In the other video, it didn't have it. Yo, they have all these hills. They have all these mountains where they have, remember, over 300 miles, extended miles of tunnels and stuff they built. You cannot bomb 300 miles. You cannot bomb and get rid of everything in 300. You cannot invade and take over 300 miles. That's that whole coastline. You're going to get back to it.
Roll base. You can hide missiles. And that's the entire Iranian offensive strategy. All right? From here, they can hide missiles and drones from which to attack the GCC. And what are they attacking? They're attacking three things, right? They're attacking American military bases. That's number one. Okay? Is it possible for the Americans to defend against these attacks? The answer is no. It's not. It's the silliest thing in the world. You have all these bases in the...
Like, you see how he's saying no? Because that's how stupid it is. That's how ignorant it is. But you know, when you got these paper tigers, when you got people like Trump, they've never been through nothing. You see, there's a reason why in this book right here, in this book by Chairman Mao, he called all these people like Trump paper tigers. You know why he called them paper tigers? Yo, the people that put all these bases around Iran, the people that came here and killed all the Native Americans to take over this country, that went all around the world imposing their will for America to be the #1 country in the world. See, those people were tigers. They were sociopaths, they were savages, they were war criminals, but they were tigers. Like, they came in there, they know what it meant to go to war. They knew what that meant. You see, but people like Trump, his whole life, Trump has been reading a fake history. He's been getting the wrong idea of what America is, who he is. Thinking like they can go over and just do anything to anybody. Trump ain't never been in nothing. Trump ain't never shed no blood. Trump just inherited what's going on. See, that's why Mal called them paper tigers. I was talking to my man the other day, and we both grew up in the hood. And we remember what it was like growing up in the hood for us to survive in the hood. Our children don't live like that. I'm like, bro, you grew up in the hood. You got kids now. Your kids don't know what you used to do, how we used to move. Your kids went to private schools. They went to school. You picked them up, took them to school every day. They ate 3 meals a day. They had their own room, had beds. They don't know what it's like to really struggle out here. You couldn't put them kids out in the hood for them to go survive. They'll be done. They're paper tigers. They're not like you. They're not like us. They never been shot. By the time I was 20, I think I've been shot, stabbed already. Like, they ain't been through nothing. I mean, so when you put them in position of power, they don't know what it means to hold that power, to take that power. That's Trump, a complete buffoon, a paper tiger. And he's telling you, he's laughing because it's crazy. It's asinine to think you're going to go there and you're going to have a ground invasion take over. It's crazy. You see, but the people around Trump are telling him something else. Most likely, they're telling him, yeah, we got the biggest guns. We could just go in there and kill their leaders, and we could take over the country. We could go in there and kill their religious leader, their supreme Ayatollah. We could go kill them, and the people are going to get in the streets. They're going to be celebrating us. Thank you, America. That's what his advisors are telling him. And anybody that would tell him anything else, you can't come in that room. You can't talk to Trump. So Trump goes in there and thinks he's about to go in there and take over the country.
We can defend them against the Iranians. That's kind of strange. Okay, that's number one. Number two is oil and energy. How hard is it to blow up an oil field with a drone? Not hard at all. Can you defend these oil fields? No, you cannot. All right? Number three, and the most important, is water. Okay? You guys don't know this, but the GCC has little access to fresh water. So the only way that they can produce water is what we call desalination plants. Okay? These factories that take salt water and then take salt water.
So I want to show the factories.
Plants. Okay?
These are the plants. These are the plants right. You see, they're right next to the water and stuff. They're here to distill the water. They get the water, they distill out, take out the salt, whatever they do. I don't know what they do with it. But these plants are there to distill the water. Yo, how easy is it to hit it with a drone? How easy is it to hit it with a rocket? That's what he's trying to explain to you. You can't protect this. But you're going to put a whole net? You're going to put a net to stop the missiles from coming? How do you protect this?
You know what? There's something interesting that I've been learning about this war. I thought when people go to war, you just start killing people, right? Like, my country don't like your country, we just kill everything. And I'm like especially a World War II, like, history buff. Like, I love movies on World War II. But and the whole time, I didn't know this. There's, like, rules to engagement, right? There's places you can attack and places you can't attack. That's why when Japan attacked us, they hit the military base, right? And we just nuked them, right? After we figured out we couldn't beat them, we just nuked them. One thing about Israel and America is they are true definition of terrorists. They attack any place, it don't matter. And one of the things that they do is they attack civilian infrastructure to try to break the morale of the people. If you notice, Iran only attacks what Israel and America attack. They still haven't attacked civilian infrastructure unless it was the hotel that the military personnel was hiding out at amongst the civilian people. But, like, that's been interesting. This whole war is what Iran attacks and why they attack it. and why they say they attacking and what America attacked. Even with Iraq, one of the first infrastructures that was blown up in Iraq was a news station and a school, right? So, like, we'll try to hide behind Israel and say, no, it's Israel that did that, and we don't know why. No, this is an American strategy as well, right? We are the terrorists of this world. And that's just important to know. Like, all of the rules that they want other people to abide by, they abide by none. And it's funny because we over here in America, we, like some of us, like, pride ourselves on being law-abiding citizens in a country that doesn't abide by any laws, right?
Lawless.
International law.
Lawless. They're all lawless. They're all lawless. But look at this. How do you protect this? And everything Ibrahim was saying was just right. Yo, you know what they said? They said if you attack our gas field, this was yesterday, they told America, because Trump said you got 48 hours. 48 hours you don't open the Strait of Hormuz, we're going to hit your oil fields and all of that. And they're like, go ahead. We're going to hit all this. Because like they haven't attacked this, Ibrahim. Iran has not attacked none of this. They said if you attack our oil fields, if you come down, Trump, and you attack our oil fields, all of them, their oil fields, their water distilled. You just heard what this man said. 80% of their food, everything comes from out. Like over 90% of their water is distilled. If you destroy all of this, they have no water. Iran is telling them, bruh, you keep coming, you do this is what I'm going to do. So, and the whole world is watching. The whole world has been seeing this for like 40 years. I'm telling you, I used to sit back and I used to be like, how all this country just let Americans come in here and do all of this? It was strategic, yo. Now that I sit back and look at it, they were just willing them in. They were just willing them in, letting the rest of the world see these people for what they are. I'm like, how come Russia and China ain't jumping in? They're willing them in. They're letting a dummy do what a dummy do.
But Chairman, you used the same strategy too when we had to get rid of certain people in the party. It took us 3 years, remember?
All power to the people. No, because we was thinking intellectually. We was thinking strategically. Trump don't think strategically. These billionaires, all they think about is take. So what do they want with Iran? People say, all you people say this. The billionaires want to take the country over. The billionaires want to take the country over. They want to destroy Iran so they could be the only powers in the Middle East. And after Iran, where they going? They're going to Turkey. After Turkey, where they going? Saudi Arabia. And when they finish taking over everything over there, then they're going to move on to other parts of the world. Turkey already said, like, we ain't off that. We ain't off that. Because they see the writing on the wall. I mean, but look at this is the plants. And the professor just told you, they cannot protect these plants. How is he lying? But Mark Lamar Hill is sitting over there in the studio, and he talking about none of this stuff is going to affect us. How did World War II affect the people here in America? Everybody was good, or was people starving? Were people in the streets? But Mark Lamar Hill, this is a smart guy. He got doctorates, he been everywhere. Nah, that ain't going to do nothing to us.
These factories take salt water and then through a chemical process, turn it into fresh water for the population to use. 60% of the water supply in the city comes from these separation plants, okay?
60%? My bad if I say 90, but 60% of their water come from this. So when they hit the oil field, they hit Iran oil field, they're going to take all of that out. They're going to take all of that out. And what you think going to happen after that?
6%. It's hard to blow the desalination plant using a drone. The answer is it's very easy. Okay? So you have this absurd situation where Iran is a mountain fortress where it can hide its offensive capacity, and the GDC is just this desert, this flat desert, and it is exposed to attack. And there's nothing you can do.
I was wondering, like, why didn't Iran get a nuclear weapon? We don't need a nuclear weapon. The Ayatollah told them we don't need a nuclear weapon. You know why? Because we got these missiles. We control this strait. We don't need nuclear weapons. I've been sitting here, I've been wondering, like, for years now, why didn't Iran go get nuclear weapons? Yeah, and you know how they told us, like, think about all the movies you saw when you was little about people in the Middle East, about the Iranians. Like, they got them in the clothes. They act like these people are crazy. Like, they're not thinking, they're not intellectuals. These people been sitting there plotting all this time on how to take down the biggest empire the world has ever known with no nuclear weapons. You want me to tell you another thing that's crazy? China has become the world superpower in second place, and they might be number one after this war. They didn't shoot nobody. They didn't invade no country. They didn't steal nobody oil. They didn't steal nobody resources. Well, the regular way. They went in there, probably bought off the politicians, and the politicians are selling the land off to them. Stuff like that. But they ain't take no guns and go kill nobody. The only sociopaths that have been moving like that is just Europeans, just Westerns, Western ideology, Western literature. These people been going around killing everybody, taking civilizations off the planet so they could rule the world. And now you got Iran, hasn't been to war with anybody. You got China that don't go to war with anybody. They're about to take over the world. General Secretary, you about to come here to explain this? You about to take over?
Yeah, I'm coming now.
All right.
So and one important thing about China.
1 second after
the
this.
world.
One second after this, I got you. You can go ahead. Let him finish. He about to say what America's power is. Whatever. Let me play.
In this war. Okay? These three events are, of course, technology, propaganda, and money, wealth. These are the three major strengths of the American empire. Right? Technology is just what you see every day, right? The satellites. They're able to precision target these airplanes that are the greatest war machines in the world. Okay, so America is home to the greatest scientists, the most advanced weaponry, and that's just technology. Propaganda means that America controls information space. It controls the internet.
They control the news. That's why people like Mark Lamont Hill won't tell you the truth. They control the journalists. The reporters won't tell you the truth. That is, he's showing you. They got it with the money, they got it with the propaganda, and they got it with the technology. They have all of that. They control all of that. That's why they're a superpower.
It controls the world's most powerful media, including the New York Times, CNN, BBC. It controls YouTube. It controls Google. It controls the information landscape. America does not want you.
You hear all those landscapes he's talking about? That's all the spaces we be in. These Europeans, these people control all of it. The West control all of that. So when you're looking at BBC, thinking you're getting the truth, they're lying to you. You're looking at CNN, they're lying to you. MSNBC, they're lying to you. Wherever, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all these places is lying to you. Those are all propaganda tools. That's what he's telling you. That's what the professor is telling you. Not Africa telling you that. That's what he's telling
you. To know something, they can hide it from you. America can control the discourse. It can control how you think about the world. That's propaganda. The last thing is money. Here's an idea. The United States controls the U.S. dollar, which is the reserve currency of the world. And the United States can print as much U.S. dollars as it needs in order to win this war.
They won't be suffering. If the United States can print out as much money as they want, why are people living on the streets out here? Because these people are sociopaths. These people want to keep their foot on our necks. Look at these, telling you, they can print out any amount of money they want. There's no reason for nobody to be poor, to be homeless, to be working 3 jobs. But this is the only way for them to keep us under their thumb. Because if you're working 3 jobs, you're not organized to have a revolution. If you're starving, if you're outside in the cold, you're not organized to have a revolution.
An infinite money printer. Okay? And then they can use this money to bribe people to fight this war. They can pay for mercenaries. They can bribe ethnic minorities to rebel against the government in Iran.
Yeah, that, but you can't bribe the Iranian government. You see, they've organized themselves. They are in Pantherism. Chairman Mao, like I read him a lot. He said the only way you can really lose is the internal conflict. Yo, when they go to Africa, they go to Nigeria, they go to Liberia, they go any of these places in Africa, they buy these niggas. They come to North New Jersey, they buying niggas. They go everywhere, they buying niggas. But Iran, you can't buy nobody there. You're not buying them. You're not buying them, man. So your wealth means nothing. Your propaganda means nothing. Your technology means nothing because they got their missiles and they got their drones. They've nullified you. What you wanted to say, Ibrahim?
No, I was just gonna make one distinction, and I'm not saying China is like perfect because we all know what's going on with the Uyghurs, but they become the world power while investing in their people. They ran a war on poverty in China, and they took large swaths of their population out of poverty, right, and lifting them up. Even when you think about a lot of the European nations like the UK, France, Great Britain, they've been taking a lot of their people out of poverty. America wants you to have morale about going to war, talking about freedom, while during these last 50 years, while other nations have been lifting their people up, giving them universal health care, giving them a stipend, giving them different things, right? We've been getting poorer and poorer and poorer as the rich get richer and richer and richer. We got billionaires, and now they saying people about to be trillionaires. Listen, if they did a draft, man, ain't nobody about to be going to no draft. Ain't no like we have no morale in this country from fighting. If you read any comment section about the war, people are like, man, F this stuff, man. And I'm the same way, and I'm glad that a lot of people is feeling this way because the tides is turning.
Yo, Ibrahim, because they done starved everybody, bro. They done starved, they took all the patriotism out of everybody. Hey, you want me to tell you a secret, Ibrahim? You ready for this shit?
Yeah.
I used to be a fucking Marine. I wanted to go to the NBA. I wanted to fight for this country, my boy. But I woke up. They learned me. Yo, that's a whole story. When I woke up, when I discovered that these people were frauds, that's a whole different story. But go ahead, General Secretary.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
So I have this video. This is the talk of Newark for the whole week. There's a video. The former commissioner, Newark Housing Authority, which is supposed to provide affordable, low-income housing to Newark residents, and it's also arguably one of the biggest slumlords in the city.
But hold up for a second, though. But everybody, the reason we're talking about it is crime.
Yes,
crime. You see, the same officials, the same people that you see in here, they got cameras in all our communities to lock all our children up. But watch how they commit crimes, and nobody holds them accountable.
So the gentleman sitting, if those of you that can't see the video, there's a gentleman sitting at the desk. His name is Alif Muhammad. He's the former Newark Housing Authority Commissioner. There are two gentlemen in the office that are close with Alif Muhammad, and then you'll see the Chief of Staff of Newark, New Jersey, also the Mayor Ras Baraka brother, come into the office, and they have a conversation about a resolution that the mayor and them once passed. So this is the beginning of the conversation. This is a 50-minute long, over 50 minutes long, but we're just covering the first 10 minutes. And next week, every week we'll cover another section. So here we go.
I love that this way. No, you don't know that. Tell me what we call that. Tell me what we call him. No, let me tell you what they call him. Tell me what they call him. Joe Ball. You know the guy, bro. Who's Joe?
So Alif Muhammad is saying that Smooth, the gentleman sitting in the chair next to the door, that's his right-hand man. And he's comparing him to Joe the Boss, the Godfather, because also Mitty is also Joe the Boss, but to the mayor, Ras Baraka. So he's just letting Mitty know that he has the same, he has a boss man, just like Mitty is a boss man to the mayor. So I guess he's introducing his boss man to the next boss man.
I'm bringing him back. That's a bit of a word. Y'all like him? Come though.
Move, close. Yeah, I know. You know, right? I mean, you just like he is a rock. That everybody talk to, they go talk to him first.
So he's saying just like Roz, if anybody needs to talk to Elise, they got to talk to Joe the Boss, a.k.a. Smooth. And if anybody needs to talk to the Mayor Roz, they have to go through his brother, the Chief of Staff, Midi Baraka.
For 8 years, I've been in the 8 years. No, get nowhere till you lose that respect for it. Wait, 8 years. No, 8 years. Wait. 8 years. Did you take a shot? I said, oh,
Here we go. This was during, as you can see, it was around April 2021. So Mitty asked him, did he take his shot? Mitty is in the office with a mask on. So Alita's telling him, yes, I took my shot. I'm 65 years old. This is the COVID shot. The mayor went on TV with his infant son to convince the people to take the COVID shot and had his baby shot up. Just like Obama went on TV to tell the people that the water in Flint wasn't poisoned, and he took a drink of obviously it wasn't Flint water, because everybody in the audience was shocked that you would be drinking Flint water because they don't even drink Flint water.
Oh, I took my shot. 8 years. Never asked nothing. Talk around when I first took one. I said, I don't want nothing. I just want y'all to hear that. One will call Sharif. When he died, we were on out. Right.
So Ramos is a councilman in the city of Newark. Carl Sharif was the power broker, just like we have Joe DaVincio, and there's another one, Norcross. These are all, they're not government officials, but they would be the billionaires that run the politicians. So Alif is saying, basically when they have a problem in Newark Housing Authority, Ramos, our councilman, would go and call Carl Sharif, send niggas to his office, etc. Now, mind you, the Newark Housing Authority is a federal agency. They are supposed to be separate from the city of Newark. Yes, the mayor can appoint commissioners, but that's as far as it goes. They have no right to be handling any business or having any input when it comes to the Newark Housing Authority. But as you can see, city council is up in there, the power brokers are up in there, Mitty is up in the office. So, like, when we talk about laws and crime and these people, they don't follow anything. If you want to talk about Trump, these people are worse than Trump.
They needed up to the office, right? They needed up to the office. Fought with the Pereira, the guy in church. Fought them off with the next year. Fought with Emmanuel. Me and Emmanuel was friends.
So Emmanuel, I have a little screenshot of Emmanuel and a little excerpt from a news article. He was formerly employed by the Newark Housing Authority. A lot of these people have left because, the Newark Housing Authority is being watched by the federal government, so they had to clean house. But the person they brought in, it didn't make a difference because the same thing is still happening. So Emmanuel Foster, he's formerly employed by Newark Housing Authority. In May of 2023, he went to the council because, there were a lot of complaints. So the excerpt from the news article says, the interim executive director of Newark Housing Authority faced probate questions from the city council on Tuesday, July 18th. This was around, I think, 2021 as well. Emmanuel Foster, who began working with Newark Housing Authority 25 years ago, outlined his vision and plans for the future of public housing. These people are sitting in these positions for decades and do nothing and are not held accountable. Foster discussed active projects, security, living conditions, and highlighted code enforcement checks. Foster was installed as the former executive director. Victor Cirillo contract was terminated in April. Victor was another one they had to get rid of, and you will hear Ali mention him as well. The authority oversees housing for 16,000 families, encompassing 40,000 residents in the city, Foster said.
Mayor, he had to come down, waiting on you, become a little walk down the fucking crazy. Trying to make him with the money. Shut that motherfucking shit down. Shut that fucking shit. Shut that shit down. Nobody I have been.
So I'm sorry to keep interrupting because he's saying a lot of things, and if you're not in North, you're not going to understand what he's saying. So he's basically talking about these deals that they have and all the people he had to fight because he was supporting the Barakas.
In more ways than Barakas, and didn't want that. Didn't want the hacker authority. My mind came to be not all this. I said, no. Only one.
I forgot. Rahman Muhammad is a deputy. He's a deputy mayor of Burke. He's supposed to be in Norker's Burke job, but he doesn't. He's been in that position forever. But that's another one. The mayor sent him to ask Ali Muhammad to be the housing commissioner. My speculation, they thought Ali Muhammad would be one of their people that could say yes to all the votes. And in this case, Ali is indicating that he's not that person.
I said, you can't buy it. But I mean, I'm good. Don't worry, because I'm never going to do this anymore. Because everybody was so tight. He got to be down. I just want to brother. I want a job. So I'm saying, I'm trying to figure politics in there. I'm not. I didn't go for it. I didn't myself. That thing I was on my mom. I'm with nobody. I do it for real because I got me in my soul. So I'm like, I'm trying to figure politics in, and I know I need to come and get construction and shit. So I come, and bro, you put me in those stores, man. You put me in the, I said, bro, I want to be playing for you. And he gave me, okay. I told him, bring y'all memos. I mean, he can wait for memo. Bro, what do I do? I told you on the phone about how this. What about that? What about this? Working that? What's another one?
So Khalid Thomas, he was the former director of Public Works. That's another city job. He's also the husband of Congresswoman LaMonica McIver. Again, they keep all this stuff in the family. There's the friends and family plan. I get a job, my husband get a job, my cousin get a job, and you will also see in future recordings where that comes about as well. How people are placed in the North Housing Authority. They're not qualified necessarily, or they didn't go through the formalities of getting a job, but they're placed there.
Yeah, what is the video? What is the video?
One second.
I should have given you this video. Hold it up to the camera. See what we see. Hold it up.
Oh.
Right.
New Jersey Senator.
Right there. No, that guy right there. That's Khalid.
Walks around his neighborhood.
My bad, Patron. I know, no. But I wanted to show him. This is a commercial. This is a commercial that they did for what you call it? I know. It's a commercial that they did for Cory Booker.
One second, y'all.
In the commercial for Cory Booker, that guy right there, Khalid Thomas, is in the commercial, and they're acting like this is an average North resident. And we all support Cory Booker. But this is the kind of politics they play. So because that commercial was for CNN. No, I think for NBC, whoever's for. But they're acting like these people are just regular residents and they all support Cory Booker.
So he's saying there's a vendor that's bidding for the landscaping. Why? Do anybody else hear feedback or just me? All right. All right. So let me see what's going on here.
Mic check. Can you hear me, John Pacey?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on, Theo? How can I?
Well, I wanted to ask a question about the Alif Muhammad video.
Yes.
Before y'all proceed on ahead. I just spoke to the brother last week. Now, what you're saying in that video, because it was just a little sketchy on my phone, it's my phone's fault. But are you saying the brother resisted corruption? The reason why I'm asking is because my brother, about 2 or 3 months ago, brought me in on his phone. He showed me a video where Alif was really, he was just laying on the mayor, just like Donna Jackson always does down there at City Hall. So he resisted corruption is what you're saying?
That's what it seems to be. That's what it appears to be.
All right. And the other reason why I asked is because I just spoke to the brother. He has a training center down at 17 Academy Street. I spoke to him because we go back to the old Zanzibar days. That's before Chairman, I think it was a twinkle in his mom and daddy's eyes back then. But long story short, the brother was invited to speak. I have his picture, at our health forum every August. We're having it this year at the YMCA. So I just wanted to know now, because if the brother was, in bed with the corruption, I was just going to say, no, thank you, brother. Can't have you come speak now. You speak with forked tongue down here at the health forum. Okay, but thank you, sister. That's what it sounded like, but I just wanted to get your take on it. Thank you.
No problem. That's part of the reason why this tape is out, because Alif says that he's trying to expose the corruption. But $2.3 million is for landscaping for a particular vendor that the mayor wants to use, and Alif is like not having Oh gosh.
I said, bro, what about the market that what's not in my mouth, but man, keep fucking for me, on the fucking gym. So I told him, I said the driver. I said, what is the meeting stuff?
Now Emilia is at the time she was the general counsel for housing. She's their lawyer. She's supposed to make sure that everything is up and up. So he tells the driver to go take this to Amelia so she can look at it. But guess where Amelia comes from? She was formerly employed by the city of Newark in the Newark Law Department. So she is connected to the mayor and his brother Mitty. So whether she looks at it or not, she has to do what they put her over there to do.
What are we doing? Normally, that's why I'm like, damn, I'm talking to other people. You heard from me, she didn't do my
Norma, she was also a board chair. Says this is a little excerpt from a news article. Says deemed Newark Housing Authority a troubled agency. At the meeting, board chair Norma Gonzalez zeroed in on the issue of property spending grant money. We get money from capital funds. Trust me, we have enough places to spend it, Gonzalez said at the meeting. It shouldn't be lying around for 2 to 3 years. It shouldn't be given to a consultant. Commissioners, she said, will have to sign a report indicating the agency's troubled status. Commissioner Alif Muhammad, who has been a key voice at council meetings seeking accountability, called the scores devastating, but he also took responsibility. This is his quote. Anybody that's been here for the last 4.5 years, like I have, we are culpable, Muhammad said. We are responsible because we sat here and let it happen. And Norma was the chair. So it confuses me that she knows you guys have money. She knows you guys have places to spend it. So why wasn't it spent? Why was it laying around for 2 to 3 years? Every month they have Newark Housing Board meetings where they're supposed to do the business of the board. Every month you're supposed to be looking at these finances and find out what is going on. And like Muhammad said, for the last 4.5 years, they sat there and did nothing. And Victor was the executive director of Newark Housing. They got rid of him real quick. As soon as they got that troubled status for the Newark Housing, they got him out of there. There was no fanfare. There was no public announcement. There was no Nothing. He just left, and next thing we know, we have a new director, Leonard Spencer, who is also still connected to the mayor and the chief of staff. So, and now from the Newark Housing, they're getting turned over to private management. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs. It's a whole mess. But this has been a mess in the making for decades. The city of Newark has been using Newark Housing Authority as their private ATM, and the people of Newark have been facing homelessness. This is a part of the housing crisis. Things like this, crimes like this.
I'm gonna do 11 people for you. We going to do recognition. You don't want money for recognition. Hey, you can do it this way. Now, I'm talking. I hang up the phone as well. 10 minutes later, you call. We talked about him.
So Alif is saying that forget the vendor. We can hire Norkers to do our own landscaping. Instead of giving this vendor $2.3 million, and you will hear in either in this recording or later recordings that this vendor was not doing a good job to begin with. Instead of giving him more money to do more bad work, why don't we hire Norkers?
You can't come. So evidently Victor stuck something on this fucking line. And I keep telling him, I told your brother it's still fucking lying. Oh, well, he said some shit about this. I ain't said shit. I asked a fucking question. I ain't doing all the protocol and I ain't responding to that. What do you mean that I don't like up no motherfucking death? I'm smarter not to ask stupid questions. I said, sir, why did you get this acting thing? Why are you giving us this?
So apparently, wherever they were at, the vendor was some bottles of wine, and Alif was asking the questions. So that's what he's explaining to Mitty over here, because again, you don't bribe agency workers with anything, and then you try to bribe them with wine, allegedly.
There's not. I'm glad I just realized because of this. Yeah, one day to why? Yeah, one day to why?
So allegedly, the Shoulder Group, this is the vendor that was awarded in April 2021 or sometime in that time period, the $2.3 million landscaping deal.
We talked about I gave $150. I'm like, yeah, you made that me. And then something about believe. I don't believe. I like look, man. I didn't know that. Yeah, but he didn't have it.
So Ali said the vendor said to him that he gave 150 whatever donation to whatever Newark charity or organization or whatever. And Ali was like, yeah, but you made $10 million. I'm assuming, speculation, $10 million off of contracts with the city of Newark. But that's the system they have. These vendors, these companies, they come in here, they donate, give out turkeys, book bags, whatever, and then they get lucrative contracts with the city, allegedly.
Pay to play.
And he said, I would have it. I would have worked. But he's like,
so on the screen, I'm showing you one of their donation fundraiser thing. It says Donald Sugar, from the Sugar Company, because this is a family business. He is the husband of Lisa Sugar, who is the owner of the business. Donald Sugar was honored by the Newark Housing Authority for a Scholarship Foundation at their 12th annual classic. This was in November 25th of 2025. So they've been consistent donors to these things, and they take pictures with the councilman. You see Ramos, you see Victor Sorello, the former director of Newark Housing Authority, and allegedly the neighbor of these vendors that you will hear from Ali. And then you have Anthony Ambrose, the former Newark Public Safety Director. Where is he at now, May? Or was that the other one? Well, he's not there now, but you know, again, all these people get promoted to continue their malfeasance.
I gave him 3 friends. You know, I'm like, I told them, don't do that. Don't just call me, talk to me. Don't just jump. Because you do that. You know my friends call you, you know my friends call you, they call you Sonny Congo.
So he's saying that the people call Mitty Sonny Corleone. And if anybody watched The Godfather, Sonny was a jumper.
You know why? Because he's Sonny. They what you call me? We say Sonny, we call him Sonny. We call him Sonny. We call Rod Michael, we call him Sonny.
I think they give them too much credit. I don't even think they have the intellect, the slyness, the slickness, the strategy to even be compared to a Michael Corleone. Maybe Sonny Corleone, but I doubt Rod is a Michael Corleone.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you got to find my ass the phone. Then Monica called me and said, hey, keep it happy.
Lil Monica always in the mix. Lil Monica is always in the mix. She throws rocks and hides her hand, just like she did when she got the petitions to get on the seat of congressman. She told them people that her 60-plus-something-year-old mother collected over 1,081 signatures from Friday to Sunday. That's how she was able to make the ballot. This is Lil Monica. And she went like a chatty patty, stereotypical garbage she is, and call and go tell Alif Muhammad, yeah, they talking about you. They tearing you down in a meeting. And she's supposed to be on the side of Roz and Mitty. And this expert just shows that her fight with the ICE agent, ICE detention center, the judge denied her request to dismiss the charges. She cited political immunity or whatever, and the judge said, nah, that ain't gonna work. You coming to court.
So fucking they made $125,000. They supposed to be listening. All they do whatever they make, I ain't making no.
So he's saying that I'm assuming he's talking about the other commissioners. He said they're making over $125,000. I believe this commissioner is no paid job, but hey, I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know. But I don't think anybody's supposed to be making money. But he's saying they're making $125,000. They supposed to listen to you. I'm not making anything.
Motherfucker, you gonna take my back that I don't want the war with Muslims, Carcery, Tracy, and them motherfuckers, man. I'm fucking shut Tracy down in this motherfucking test. I randomly said if I got to fucking shoot some shooting out there. I shut these motherfuckers. He seen me today at the funeral. I saw that on the grave. Feel motherfuckers running, look that way. I done did everything I could for them out there. No. But now you gonna keep my back and talk when I disrespect somebody? No. No. That's the mind. So we have to need to fucking do it. I said, you disrespect me. I disrespect them. No, you disrespected me. I never said that, man. I don't get that.
Like, who the F do Mitty think he is? Like, who? He tried to pull the same thing on when we were in the park when they arrested the chairman because he approached the mayor about why everybody is homeless and what he's doing about the housing crisis. Mitty come down here talking about you're not going to disrespect my brother. He's the mayor. He's not your brother to us. Like, him being a brother means nothing to us. He's the mayor. Like,
because you ain't called me back. You called Monica back. And you call everybody back for me. Because I'm happy what we've been. No, bro. We've been. I told you what we've been. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. No. Listen, we know I'm a smart man. I'm a smart man too. When I'm mad at a motherfucker and don't want to get the wrong shit, you know what I do? I ain't say shit. I learned that. Now you come back, you let this motherfucker, this lying motherfucker, man. So you don't let me talk to him? Yeah, you got it. Thanks for letting me talk. Even though it was my office. Yes, you fucking your office. Okay. Yeah, we didn't finish that. You don't want to play this. I got respect for you, right? Mm-hmm. And I got respect for you because you stood up for us. Mm-hmm. At the time, nobody could stand up. That's right. And I always remember that. And that's why when you said, should I be going, yeah, why not? We need somebody like that. However, I don't listen to Victor. When I look at Victor as a choice of my brothers. So the attack on Victor is an attack on my brother.
An attack on Victor is an attack on his. Victor at the time was the executive director of Newark Housing Authority. These people are supposed to be working for the people. So how is an attack on Victor? First of all, his brother shouldn't have anything to do with the Newark Housing Authority. He just appoints them and then he leaves. Whatever Victor does or say is Victor being the director of the Newark Housing Authority. It should not affect whatever the mayor has going on. So
they should all be in jail.
Yeah.
This is the crime. This is why people are suffering in our community. These people are responsible for the suffering, the homelessness, the destruction of our community. They should all be in jail. And that's why when Mitty walked up on me talking about that's my brother, the mayor, I told him, F your brother. I don't care if he's the mayor. I mean, these people are cowards.
All power to the people.
You understand? And y'all don't understand that. Y'all look at it like a personal thing there. Yeah, but if you understood that, then you cannot like. So when you have a perception, so I gotta deal with you lying. Whatever you do, but listen, Ali, you understand? So what is you everything? No, it's not. The thing with the contract, you should have told him, okay, we'll let you go for a year. But guess what? We're going to be watching you for the year, and then after the year's over, we're going to bring it up what we need to bring it.
You hear it? So Ali said he don't want to do this. He don't want to give the vendor any more chances. Mitty talking about, tell him you want to give it. Why should the people of Newark suffer another year of this poor vendor that don't mow the lawn, that don't take up the snow? All he's doing is collecting our tax money. Why do he deserve another year? Why is it so important for this vendor as opposed to what Alif wants to do, get Norkers instead? Why this vendor has to do it?
I had to put it in last year, they voted me down. No, but this year, I tried to get it in last year.
Alif said last year he tried it and they voted him down. So now again, we're back again here again this year for them to vote him down again.
I tried to put it in last year. They voted me down because everybody knew the shoe was not this. They voted me down. They don't say they're doing no stuff. They're going to do it way too much. So this year, I'm saying,
So, excuse the caption. The vendor is sugar. He said it has nothing to do with sugar. It's how you go about it. Elise said last year when they tried to do it, they shut me down because it was sugar. And Mitty told me, I know it had nothing to do with sugar. It's how you went about it. Like, how he go about what saying no? It don't matter. Like, Mitty just trying to make an argument that makes no sense.
I'm doing this shit, but before I go do it, I come down here and I give you a memo. Yeah, like, and I'm smart.
And Ali writes it down because he knows he has to protect himself. So he writes a memo, I think 3 of them, to send to them, telling them what he's going to do. So if anything goes awry, he has written documentation, and they know, so they cannot say they don't know.
It took us 25 fucking years to do this, man. And then I just asked for a little bit of fucking
Mitty said it took him 25 years for his brother and him to run the city of Newark, and all he's asking Ali is to give them a little bit of whatever you want to call it. And Ali telling him, dude, I spent $40,000 on y'all. That's how loyal I was.
I mean, we understand all of that stuff. Okay. I understand all of that. Fully personally, I understand all of that. But at the end of the day, the House Authority stuff, shit got my smooth, man. I got my smooth. And I didn't want to do it yet. He didn't want to do it yet. If he wouldn't want to do it, he would have told me. And I said, I'll be bad. But somebody said the man said no. I would have said no problem. I would walk the fuck away. Walk away. No. He didn't want to do it yet. Not now. But all you want to do is that man do it. I mean, all you want to do is that I'm from the street, right? Yeah.
You from the streets. I want to know what he's about to say, but don't play yet. Hey, CEO, you there?
Hello. Yes, hi. CEO, you there?
I don't know, Theo. This is Joyce. Just Joyce.
Oh, hi, Joyce. What time is it, Joyce?
It's kind of time for everybody to summarize their statements, okay?
All right. We're heading out, Joyce. Thank you.
Okay. No, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, let me summarize my statement real quick. Hey, Alif Muhammad don't talk to me no more. This is Chairman Africa. Alif, if you're listening to this, hey, man, I knew these people were corrupt, and since you was working with them, when I saw you with them, I believe you was corrupt too. Because the birds of the same feather, whatever, all that flock together, I thought you was one of them. That's why I said what I said to you. I don't even know if you still remember. But you cut me off after that conversation when I went off on you. Hey, yo, man, you see what kind of person I am. Alif, if we cool, reach out to me, Alif. I would love to have a conversation with you. But you know what side of the fence I'm on. If they're the bad guys, you know I'm the good guy. All power to the people, Alif.
And you can find a full video clip on our YouTube channel to see what else occurred throughout the whole 50-plus minutes. But we're going to have to turn off. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be here next Sunday. If you have any comments, just hit our social media spaces. I'm sorry we can't get no feedback, but we got to go. Thank you, Joyce, for being patient. All power to the